have a homestand here at Camden Yards, and they're looking to avoid a sweep. It has been a tough series against the Cardinals, losing the first two. But for Buck Showalter, it's about winning game number 3 and send this team on the road with a W. The Orioles looking not to be swept by the Cardinals. Cardinals O's are next. It's the Orioles on Macedon. Another great evening for baseball as the fans make their way in to see the final game of this first-time series with the St. Louis Cardinals here in Baltimore during the regular season. And the Cardinals do have a chance to come away with a sweep if they can pick up the victory here tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. For the Orioles this year, they have been swept 4 times. None of those have come in interleague play. One of the problems for the Orioles continues to be having to come from behind. St. Louis Cardinals know all about that. They have led in a ball game, scoring first 52 times. That's a high in the major leagues, and they are 32-19 in those ball games. The Orioles would like to get some of that going themselves. One of the problems, the Orioles give up a lot of runs early. Take a look at the numbers. Innings 1 through 3 have been a real problem. The third most runs allowed. The record when trailing after 3 is 4-31. They've thrown the 5th most pitches in those innings, and they have scored just the 11th most runs in the first 3 innings. That's why that win percentage is down that low. If 3 does mean trouble, Jim Palmer, when it comes to those first 3 innings.
Ideally, and I'm talking in a perfect world, which we don't live in, you'd like to, as a starting pitcher, you'd like to get off to a good start. We have a very young pitching staff here with maybe a couple of exceptions, Guthrie being the main one. You got to do what you do best early. A lot of young pitchers don't know that. You don't have to show them everything you have early. And a lot of times if you do that, I mean, you do have the effect of twilights. When you're playing night games, the lights don't take into effect, and a lot of guys don't understand that. So you got to come out, do what you do best. Hopefully Mattis will rediscover his fastball tonight, throw a lot of strikes, and the Orioles going to get that early lead.
All right, we'll talk about Brian Mattis when we come back and take a look at a little bullpen session, and Jim will talk about what he's been working on, because this is a very big start for the young left-hander. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. It is indeed another gorgeous evening after a beautiful summer day here in Baltimore. Take a look at our train game time temperature. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Big deal is that humidity, 26%, keeps it very comfortable here tonight. Take a look at the starting lineup for Tony La Russa's team, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Terry O'Shea and Holiday, Burkman, Freeze, and Rasmus. Molina, Cruz, see him for the first time in the series. Schumacher batting ninth. Freeze has had a good series coming off the DL.
And our AFCIA scouting report, it is brought to you by AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Well, lost and found, and a lot of times you will lose something. Mattis, most people think he's lost the velocity on his fastball, so that's what he did in between. We'll show you a little bit of that. NL trauma, interleague, he has never in 5 starts won a game, 0-4 with an ERA close to 6 runs a game, and then the last 2 games, dinger fever. You don't want to have that when you're pitching. Throwing home runs, 3 in his last game against the mighty Cincinnati Reds, and they hit 5 in that game total, and then 2 against the Nationals. So keep the ball down, but he is a fly ball pitcher, and just hope that you can be a little sharper. I don't think it's about velocity, Gary. I think it's just being, maybe just being a little bit more extension on your pitches.
So Brian Mattis will try and get it turned around here, as he certainly knows the importance of this. Jim will look at what they were doing and is throwing on the side.
Well, again, Rick Adair, if you could see him right there, number one, let's get set. Let's get on our back leg. You can load that way. Across his body, maybe cutting that down maybe about 6 inches. And then Rick saying the one thing, a lot of times you become a little bit ponderous, so quicken up everything. And when you quicken your windup, you can sometimes quicken up your arm speed.
And here we go. Terrio turns to bunt. He will take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike, and we are underway. Ryan Terrio, the shortstop, who moves in and out of that leadoff spot. He is hitting at .291, 13 doubles, a homer, and the 27 RBIs. He's 1 for 5 in the series. That'll be down to first base and a foul ball. Cardinals come in having won the last 2. They are 43-38 now, only a game out in their division, while the Orioles are 35-42, 7 games below 500 for the first time. So La Russa's got it going in the right direction, and for the Orioles, Buck Showalter wants to get it going there with a victory here tonight. To the hole, and there's a leadoff single. The Terrio is on. Buck Showalter talked about the importance of the start for Mattis before the game tonight.
His work days have gone good, everything, but they were last time too. So, the proof is in the pudding. And the great thing about, I don't say great, but our curiosity is going to be satisfied about 7:06-ish if we get the right national anthem tonight instead of someone reinventing the song. We'll find out. We can talk about all we want to, but St. Louis is the one that's going to answer those questions.
And they have started out with a single and maybe a little small ball early. John Jay with a 5-game hit streak, batting second. Real good average for him. He did show bunt, checking with Jose Akendo at third, and Reynolds will stay in. See whether or not La Russa wants to try and get Terrio down there. Terrio's got a big lead. And going back to the bag, and he's not bunting, and it's foul back and a 2-strike count. They know, the Cardinals do, as every other team does, that clubs have been running on Brian Mattis 6 out of 8 stolen bases. The bases are stolen in his starts largely on him, not on Matt Wieters.
Yeah, Wieters throws as well as any catcher. So again, how do you control the running game? Keep the right guys off.
0-2 count. Jay will take it, and he's gone. Good breaking ball.
Yeah, you can't throw a slider any better than that. So he gets ahead, lefty versus lefty. The one thing about Brian Mattis last year, dominated him very few. Took him about 2 months to throw an extra base hit. I think it was Robinson Cano who can hit anybody to get an extra base hit as a left-handed hitter. So that'll be one of the first telltale signs. And I thought Buck Showalter, he said, listen, we don't know if he's going to come back with his velocity, and he'll just proceed as if that may not happen. And as he just said, we'll find out, and the Cardinals will tell you.
Here is Matt Holliday, and Holliday going after the first pitch will foul it back. Wieters coming back, and no play. Holiday has had a 2 for 8 in this series, but he is back swinging the bat as Holiday's got some power coming. As the average 327, he's had 15 doubles, 10 home runs, 40 RBIs on the year for him, and Holiday always a long ball threat, and you see with the runners on, the numbers just jump up.
Yeah, he could have been 3 for 8 except for the Luke Scott fabulous catch, one of the best ones we've seen all year, up over the wall in left center field.
The delivery, Holiday will take it inside. He's hitting only 182 or 298 rather off lefties, 336 off right-handers. 3 of his 10 home runs have come against the left-handers. Dangerous Cardinal team right now because they found the bats. I mean, up and down the lineup here in this series, they've hit 273 against Orioles pitching in the first 2 games. Breaking ball fooled him, but it misses, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Well, again, that's a plus curveball. You know, again, I was talking to Mike Flanagan, does the games that I don't, and of course Flanagan, a terrific left-handed pitcher, Cy Young Award winner. I mean, you could just talk about his all the things that he has done, and you know, as both a player and a coach. And he said Brian Mattis actually in his last game held his velocity early, but couldn't maintain it.
That ball is tagged, but he got around on it a little too much.
And that fastball in 90. So again, it's not always about velocity. I always found in over 4,000 innings, if you try to throw harder, the ball straightens out. You have to be relaxed. It's hard to do that when you're struggling. And I think the most important thing is, can you get over your front side and can you create some arm speed and some extension through the hitter? Not trying to throw it as hard as you can. Just try to have a windup that allows you to throw it through the hitter, not by him, but through him.
Terrio back to the bag. He has not been getting a good read on Mattis. Terrio's been heading back to the bag when Brian Mattis delivers to the plate. A good sign for the Orioles, but not for Terrio if he's thinking about trying to run. 2-ball 2-strike count, 1 down. Holiday will take the pitch down low. Wieters will block it, keep it out in front, and the count is full, 3-2. Brian Mattis wanting to get through these first innings as efficiently as possible, giving up as little as possible. He's given up 4 first inning runs this year, the most of any innings that he has pitched. Terrio with good speed, just kind of challenging him over there with that extra half-step lead. 3-2, runner goes, ground ball, that'll be to first. Lee will take it to the bag himself, and Holiday is retired. Terrio will move down to second base. Defense, obviously, you got to play it. Orioles did last night. Great play with the runner going to second and then trying to come home. They got it. Great stop made by Davis on a real shot, a bullet that he had to go after.
And there it is. Reimold out in left tonight with the left-hander Garcia pitching. Jones, Markakis, that's your outfield. Reynolds, Hardy, Robert Andino back at second base. Derek Lee, and then he'll be at first, and Matt Wieters catching.
Real long time for Reimold.
Yep.
Get back in a ball game here. Try and get some at-bats in. Here is Burkman, and Burkman will take the pitch for a strike. He's the designated hitter tonight. He's been playing at first base. He's only 0 for 3 in this series. Reason for that is walks. He had a couple last night, including an intentional and sacrifice flies, and he drew 2 walks in the first game. The 0-1 delivery to him. Burkman to second base. Andino is there. And a good inning for Brian Mattis. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left on. The Orioles lineup coming up. average of only .217. Here's the lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Hardy, Markakis, and Jones. Guerrero, Lee, and Wieters. Reynolds, Reimold, and Andino. Mark Reynolds, exceptional June.
And our FCS scouting report, real deal. This guy's got 4 good pitches, 13-game winner last year. The one thing, not that the Orioles run a lot, they do have a couple of guys that can run a little bit. 9 out of 10, so you can run a little bit on Jaime Garcia, and when he pitches, they score runs. I don't mean the opposition, because again, at home, well, of course, home the numbers are unbelievable. ERA of under 1 run a game. There are the numbers collectively, but he knows how to pitch.
Garcia, tremendous earned run average, fewer hits than innings pitched. And Hardy will lead it off. And the pitch is taken up high. Westbrook was supposed to pitch tonight. Tony La Russa changed it yesterday. Didn't say it specifically, but clearly decided I need a left-hander in this threesome against the Orioles, who have struggled against the lefties. They're 10-15 against left-handed starters on the year. And that is the 4th worst win percentage against lefties in the league. Only 24 years old, second year, 13-8 last year, 2.70 ERA in his rookie year. That'll be fouled away as Garcia finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year balloting last season, 4th best ERA in the league last year, and did it as a rookie, and a pronounced ground ball pitcher. 1-2 delivery. Hardy takes it inside. 2-2.
Yeah, that's that big curveball. The guy that he reminds me of size-wise and ability-wise is Ricky Romero. And we know how well he's pitched. Romero won 15 games for Toronto last year. They both have excellent changeups to back up the curveball fastball.
Hardy goes to the hole. Hardy had a pitch that was up, but he was able to stroke it into right field, and he's got his 4th hit of the series, 4 for 9.
Without a doubt, not only is he red hot, as you look at the defense behind Jaime Garcia, Holiday, Rasmus, and Jay, pretty good outfield, especially center and right. Freeze back from the DL, Theriot, Shoemaker, Tony Cruz. Usually you can do a little catching. He'll play first base, and then 3-time Gold Glove winner behind the plate, Yadier Molina for the Cards.
Nick Markakis. Nick has upped his average against the lefties considerably in the last month. He's up to 275 off left-handers. And then a ground ball to second base. Schumacher. Theriot. Double play. Takes care of the leadoff single.
Well, aggressive pitcher, aggressive hitter. 18-game hitting streak, 415 batting average. You know, there's the 2-seam fastball. Schumacher, a former outfielder, so he gets it over to Theriot, who's able to clear the runner. That's the key right here. So again, as try as you might, J.J. Hardy can interfere, and then the big leap by Nick Markakis didn't quite get there in time.
That's where being a ground ball pitcher can help your cause. So that'll clear the bases with 2 down and bring up Adam Jones. Adams had a 1 for 7 in the series, and for Adam this month, 7 home runs and a .296 batting average in the month of June. He's had 17 runs batted in. Had only 6 homers in April and May combined, and 7 in 1 month of June. And the on-base percentage and slugging percentage obviously going up.
Yeah, only 1 May, 5 of those, even though the average is hovering around 200. So home runs in May, the average went up, home runs went down. This month, average stayed the same, and the home runs went back up. So again, this is his best all-around month, average and runs scored and whatever you want to talk about offensively. There's that changeup, and it's a good one.
Jaime Garcia evens up the count at 1-1. That'll be taken, and Molina will stop that one. 250 against left-handers for Adam, a little lower than he'd like. 307 against the right-handers. Although for Adam Jones, it's about where he was last year against left-handers. 259 last year, 250 against lefties right now. Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and got him to go after one up high. A strikeout, so only 3 batters faced despite a leadoff single. 1 complete, Camden Yards, finale of the series. No score. Ogren from Baltimore. For every double play the Orioles turn during our game, Stacy, you get $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. See how you can turn double plays into cash and win some great prizes. Just go to mdlottery.com/double play. And good luck, Stacy. Virtually no breeze at all tonight. Low humidity and a gorgeous evening with a few wispy clouds going by. We go to the second inning. Freeze, Rasmus, and Molina. And the pitch is taken outside. 3 for 8 in the series for David Freeze, coming off the DL, playing extremely well. Only the 28th game for him. He hasn't had 100 at bats yet because of the injury. 1-0 is there, 1-1.
Now, we've already seen 90. We've seen a real good changeup, curveball. I don't know what I know it's a big deal anytime your former #1 draft choice struggles after going 7-1 in his last 8 decisions. But reality is that he hardly had much of a spring. 13 innings in spring training. You miss 2 months. You get 15 innings rehab. And then you come back to the big leagues. It's the big leagues, no higher league. And you're going to be in shape, ready to pitch. It's a big, big stretch. So all he needs to do is get himself in shape. And
that'll go to right center field. Jones will come over to get it. And again, a leadoff single as in the first.
I mean, I keep reading, well, you can't pitch at 87, 89 when you used to throw 90 through 90, 92, 93, 94. I've never seen that. But I've seen him get guys out like he did last year at 89, 90 miles per hour. So that's where you need to get back to. Can you keep the ball out of the middle of the plate? And that's what he does. He's a high ball pitcher. He threw more fly balls last year. He's done it again this year. He just has to stay out of the middle of the plate. And when he does get in the middle of the plate, they already have 2 hits on those type of pitches.
Don't make a mistake to this guy right now.
Yeah.
Rasmus is red hot. He's got a 6-game hit streak coming in. More importantly, he's hitting the long ball. 3 home runs, 4 RBIs during the streak, 368 average. He's had a home run in each of the ball games against the Orioles, 2 for 6 in the series, and both home runs. Rasmus has that big bat working. And the pitch will be taken. The left-handers have done well against Mattis this year, hitting .350. Right-handers .324. And the numbers against Bryan in that regard are extremely high. .330 average overall against him and an ERA of 6.85. Rasmus, 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Breaking ball and a good one tonight. It's in. There are the numbers. Righties, left-handers.
Oh yeah, you can't deny that. But again, the body of work not that expansive. So you would like to think, and you hope, and I know he does, it's going to get better. If it doesn't, you got a problem.
1-2 delivery, trying to catch the outside corner. Does not get the call, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Rasmus. This Cardinal team has scored 11 runs on 18 hits in the first 2 games of this series, while the Orioles have picked up 3 runs on 15 hits and an ERA of 5.5 against the Cardinals. Cardinals ERA against the Orioles is under 1 earned runs. That is a swinging strike called.
Yeah,
can't believe it.
Yeah, Brian Gorman, he didn't even look down for any help, home plate umpire, because I mean he looked right at the bat, whether he got the call right or not. You take a good disadvantage point again. He didn't swing, not at all. Wow, he goes out. Wow, you're out. Unfortunately, Tony's not going to like that call. Tony La Russa looking on. He did check his swing.
That was one of the most clear check swings you'll ever see.
But it was a very emphatic call.
Yes, it was. As umpires are taught.
I think most of the time, because you're looking at the pitch, the hitter hopes you'll ask one of the first base or third base if you're left-handed, because they get a better view of it. You're looking to see if it's a strike or not. It's a tough call.
Tony's hollering out, or somebody is, and Gorman's looking over. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, a long stare into the dugout of the Cardinals. Here's Molina looking for his first hit of the series. He's 0 for 8 and 0 for his last 10 overall. And the catcher will swing through that one. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Brian Mattis with a couple of Ks early in the ball game. Brian in the interleague games has not won one in 5 starts. He's 0-4 with a 5.9 ERA in interleague ball games. Here at home for Brian this year, he's 1-2. 22 career starts here. He's 7-10 at Camden Yards. Pitch will be away and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Well, the Orioles do not want to get on that plane tonight and head to Atlanta having been swept. They've got enough to look at in front of them with a really tough road trip, not to have to look back as well on a Cardinals sweep. 2-1 count, short lead at first for Freese, and the pitch is going to miss, maybe up high, maybe away. 3-1.
Yeah, we haven't seen much bat speed from Yadier Molina, but this is, again, the count dictates a lot of the times. Number one, you get much more confident. He's going to look for something in the middle of the plate and try to gap it, right center, left center. And this count allows him to do that.
17 doubles, 4 home runs, extra base hits for Molina. Freeze off first, and the pitch is inside, and he walked him. And there are 2 on and 1 down. Next fireworks night's coming up on Friday, July 15, as the O's will be taking on the Indians. Stay after the ball game for a great fireworks display. Alini will be sponsoring it, and that again is on Friday, July 15. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD. The one thing about Brian Mattis in games this year and right now, to me, Jim, is it just doesn't look like there's a lot of confidence.
No, why would there be?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing you have to remember how young he is.
Yeah.
He's 24. And again, at one point last year, he lost 9 straight decisions, but he pitched better, and they just didn't score a lot of runs. And then when he didn't pitch very well, they didn't score any runs. And that's how you lose 9 in a row. And then you win 7 out of the last 8. The Orioles go on a streak where they increase. They get Brian Roberts back, PA back. I mean, they got a ton of players back that didn't play the first 4 months. And all of a sudden you go out there, and what you were just talking about, I think I'm going to win tonight because I'm going to do my job. But this is a combination where the club is not hitting very well with runners in scoring position. You're probably not in the best shape because of the injury to the intercostal muscle, and you don't really know if you can get these guys out until you do that.
Yeah. Well, he's got a jam here. 1 down, runners at first and second. He'll look for the ground ball. Tony Cruz gets one, but it's up the middle. Freese is going to make the turn. Jones up with it. Here's the throw to Wieters at the plate, way off the mark. Mattis backs it up. The runners will move up on the throw. RBI single for Cruz in his first appearance in this series, and the Cardinals get on the board.
Yeah, well, a former outfielder, infielder, they move to the catcher today playing first base, and just a fastball, tries to get it in. Where's your cutoff guy? Throw. I mean, look how wide that throw is. Derek Lee trying to get over there. And then if you don't hit the cutoff man, you get other runners into scoring position. By the time Brian Mattis gets to it, you get Cruz all the way. Yeah, you get Cruz all the way to second base.
Cruz was 1 for 12 against left-handers and 7 for 19 against righties. And he gets the start against a left-hander and gets a base hit.
Well, look at Schumacher. I mean, he doesn't play all the time against lefties. But again, Mattis, Tony looked at the numbers, 350. Yeah, play anybody tonight. Punto had great first 2 games coming off the DL. But again, if you're Tony La Russa, George Bamberger used to say that when he managed the Milwaukee Brewers, he said, you got to get your guys in there, make them think they're an integral part of the team. And that's what Tony's doing tonight.
Infield is halfway in, all the way in at third. 1-0 delivery. Schumacher will put it up in the air and foul it off. Skip Schumacher's in the 9-hole, has a 2 for 5 in this series. He's got an 8-game hit streak in which he's hit .393. Last night continued it with a 2 for 5, double, 2 runs, and an RBI in the ball game against the Orioles. Schumacher hot. Orioles will try and cut that run down if the ball's hit hard enough with Molina's slow runner. That is in the air to right field. Tagging up Molina. Markakis has got it. They're going to send him. Here's the throw to the plate, and that's way off the mark. 2 horrendous throws. One by Jones and one by Markakis. And it is a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, come up and throw every day, and then again right here just lets it go. I mean, you can see his intention is to throw it all the way on the fly, and again he just gets under it.
Well, the Cardinals, as they have done in every game in this series, get the early runs in the ball game, and it is a 2-0 lead. Schumacher will be credited with the sacrifice fly and his 19th RBI. Cruz picking up the base hit RBI, his third run batted in, and he's at third base. There are 2 down now, and back to the top of the order. Here's Terrio. Ryan Terrio had a single his first time up, couple of hits in 6 at bats against the Orioles in the series. Terrio's been real good with runners in scoring position, hitting .344. The 1-0 will be fouled off. 1-1. So the Orioles, with the numbers we showed you in the open, continue here with the opposing teams able to get those early runs through the first 3 innings against Baltimore. And the Cardinals have come in. It's hard to believe this is a ball club that lost 3 at home to Toronto and wasn't hitting a lick. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Such is the nature of the game. Hardy at short, up with it. Will make the quick throw and get the out. 2 runs in on a couple of hits. No errors and a base runner left on. We go to the bottom of the second with the Cardinals leading 2-0. The same. The Orioles just 1 behind them, and the Jays and then the Rangers, the home run team leaders. Here's Vladimir Guerrero. Guerrero leading it off. He's had a 2 for 8 in the series, getting a hit in each of the 2 games, extending his hit streak to 4. Garcia's pitch, one to get your attention. 1-1.
Yeah, and it's the noticeable lack of power, which everybody's writing about and we get to see, wouldn't mean a whole lot if you were really pitching well, which they're not. And so it really exacerbates it when the club struggles, especially the starters.
That'll go to short. Nope, third. Freeze, maybe. He got him. That's a ball that Freeze knows he probably should have let go and let Terrio have it, but he still got him.
Well, if you're going to go in front of your shortstop and catch this, you better scurry up in a hurry. I mean, that's right there. And then, I mean, nice little strong throw, not a lot of speed. Even though the one thing about Vladimir Guerrero, he's running as hard as he can. There's no loaf in this guy. He just, again, is 36 and has lost some of the foot speed.
Good defensive play by Freeze in the end. Here's Derek Lee. Lee's had a 1 for 7 in this series. He has hit the left-handers much better than righties. .290 as opposed to .221 for D. Lee. Although only 1 home run, 1 out of 6, has come off a lefty. 24-year-old Jaime Garcia. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And he'll take the pitch down low. Garcia, left-handers are hitting .266 off him. The right-handers at .245. He hasn't given up a home run to a left-hander. 5 to right-handers. That's a called strike. 2-2.
And you can see a changeup at any time, any count. Right there, 2-1. Derek Lee's looking maybe something out over the plate. He throws him a straight changeup and a good one.
And that's going to be to right for a base hit. Had to go down to get it, and he did. Second hit for the Orioles.
Well, he loves the ball out over the plate, and even the good pitches. I mean, watch him cover this outside corner right here, outside really about a quarter of the plate. And it's a bullet into right field. 1900 career hit. 315th guy that's done that.
One of those magic milestone numbers for Derek Lee. Our pitch track sponsored by Papa John's. Order online at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Here's Waiters. Matt coming up, 297 off lefties, 243 off righties. And Garcia's pitch is a strike on the outside corner. The Orioles will try and get those runs back and more here in the bottom half of the second inning.
So what, 315 hitters in Major League history have gotten 1,900 hits or more. But in the, what, below 30, 3,000? So I guess that next 1,100 is a little tougher.
Consider just what a task that is with as good a career as Derek Lee's had. And you compare that to those who have had 300 hits, just how many you got to get there. D. Lee will not get the big lead. Cruz will hold him on the bag. Wieters a 1 for 8 in this series. Garcia taking a long time with Molina looking for the sign here. Here's the 0-2 delivery. A breaking ball that got him off speed.
Well, I don't know if he can throw it any better than that. Everybody I talked to said that not only does he have all the pitches, but he's very deceptive. And again, the 12-6 curveball right off the table to strike out Matt Wieters.
Garcia this season 15th in ERA in the league at 3.06, 19th in strikeouts. One number you don't want, he leads the major leagues in unearned runs scored while he's on the mound, 12 of them. Yet he is 7th in run support, 5.5 a game. And that is a strike taken by Reynolds. Mark, who has had a very good month, has cooled off. He's not had a hit in this series, going 0 for 7. Still a 288 average for the month. And Mark has had 7 home runs in June. Half of his total.
Yeah, the one amazing game that Jaime Garcia had was that game back on the 28th of May where he gave up 12 runs in 3 1/3 innings on the road. And yet his ERA is still only 3.06 coming into this game. It tells you how good he's been in other games.
And that will miss down low. He gets 70% of leadoff hitters out of there. He's done that 1 out of 2 times so far tonight. Leon at first base, 2 down. Mark Reynolds with a 2-ball 1-strike count. And over the bag, fair ball, Freeze again, throws it into the, nope, not quite. Got saved on that one. Lee will go over to third base. Could have been a run if that had ended up in the seats, but it didn't. Just hit the facade.
Well, again, a lot of people coming off the DL trying to play your way back into shape after the missing 58, 59 games with a broken left hand. So he gets to it nicely and then just heaves it almost into the stands. I would imagine that'd be a base hit and an error because of Lee. Nope, an error all the way. That's a tough error.
That is a tough one.
We had a tough error last night too. So again, that's usually a double.
So Freeze charged with an error, first and third. He keeps the inning alive. And here's Nolan Reimold. Off-speed pitch to Reimold in there. Reimold, if anybody's happy to see a left-hander on the mound, it's him. Last at bat was June 19th for Nolan Reimold. He has sat and watched, waiting for a left-hander. Hitting .261, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. Reimold on a check swing, fouls it off. 0-2.
Yeah, it looked like a little cut fastball that it doesn't throw a whole lot of them. I was looking at his numbers: 38, almost 39% two-seamers, 23% four-seamers, so throws almost 60% of his pitches fastballs, almost 20% changeups, 10% curveballs, and then he'll mix in a slider every once in a while. He's looking for a strikeout here.
Reimold asking for the timeout. Orioles with a chance to get another one of those unearned runs that are scored against Garcia. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way and gets away. Molina will go get it. Reynolds will stay at first base. Unless you take that jump immediately, if you're Reynolds at first, you can't go. And that one, Molina was able to kick close enough to him that Reynolds wasn't sure, and once you're not sure, you stay.
Yeah, I don't think you want to get thrown out at second with a guy that can hit a home run. I mean, that's what Nolan Reimold, Terry Crowley, Oriole hitting instructor, said he can hit home runs without trying. That's the kind of power he has.
1-2 delivery on the way. Reimold to third. That one just missed.
Probably the biggest upside of any of the young hitters I've seen come up to the big leagues through the Oriole organization. A second round draft choice. There's his hitting instructor, Jim Presley.
Presley was saying, talking to Jim today about Nolan getting back in. He said, you know, that left field position's open. What he's got to do is he's got to make statements with his play that says, you can't take me out. And that's what he's saying to Nolan. 1-2 delivery, and that is a ball. He did not go around on it. First base umpire Dan Bellino.
Yeah, Nolan Reimold saying, I'm sure glad that Brian Gorman, the home plate umpire, didn't make that call, because he punched out Rasmus without asking.
And he probably went further than Rasmus did.
Yes, he did. Yeah, a little change up. He didn't go, but he went farther. Further, whatever.
Further is good. 2-2 delivery, and got him on a turnover, pitch away. So Garcia's got 3 strikeouts, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 are left on base. Cardinals lead. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new, it's better, it's the new Sonic Good. Red Sox and Yankees both won their ball games today, so they continue to play some pretty good baseball. The Yankees have a 2.5 game lead over the Red Sox. The Cardinals have a chance to move into a tie for first place with a victory tonight. Milwaukee lost again today. They've lost 3 in a row. The Cardinals' victory would even it up at the top of the division.
I think the Brewers aren't lamenting the fact they had to go play the Yankees and the Cardinals got to come here, even though, you know, Tony La Russa would never ever say anything like that. But that's reality when you look at the 1-loss record.
That'll go to second. Andino's got it. And Jay is retired. He's 0 for 2. Visit MLB.com/moments to vote for Cal Ripken's 2001 All-Star Game heroics as the most memorable All-Star Game history. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of that great Cal moment in the final All-Star Game in which he played. You can do so by voting at MLB.com/moments. Speaking of moments, you only have until midnight tonight to cast your ballots for the All-Star players. You want to get that done. If you haven't done it, you can vote up to 25 times to get those little fingers working. Cardinals have the 2-0 lead, and Holiday grounded out his first time up. Mattis with a walk and a couple of strikeouts. Off-speed pitch tonight, so pretty good.
Yep. He's just left 3-4 balls in the middle of the plate. Got lucky on the hanging slider to Jay, hit it right at Andino, but again, just want to see if he can get into the 6th, 7th inning and still be throwing well.
Got in on him and gets the foul ball.
Matt Holliday looks like a guy that's supposed to step up to home plate and hit. He is a big guy.
And hits that way.
Yes, he does.
1 ball, 2 strike count on him. And missed. Holiday will start showing up among the leaders in the National League as soon as he gets the at-bats. He doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify for anything. Otherwise, he'd be up there in a number of categories among the leaders offensively. Right now, it's Burkman and Pujols, of course, who have led the charge. And that's going to be a base hit right off the white line. Reimold in the corner. It'll be a stand-up double, and Holiday's on with 1 away.
Yeah, you can see Matt Wieters now. Watch again. He's slid into the inside part of the plate. They're trying to go up underneath his hands, and he gets it thigh high, maybe knee high, and then just torches it into the corner, hooks it for a double. So he misses his spot, and again, the velocity, not 88, 89, but to be honest, last year Vlad Guerrero hit a 3-run home run down in Texas when he was playing for the Rangers off Brian. It was about 87. If you're going in, you better get it in.
That'll be hit number 4. Cardinals get a runner in scoring position, 1 away for their cleanup batter, Burkman. And he will take the pitch for a ball. Lance comes into the game tied for 3rd in home runs. Matt Kemp of the Dodgers leads with 22 now. Cecil had to do that. Prince is second with 21. Fielder is also the leader in RBIs with 69. Burkman is 5th with 55. Fouls that one straight back. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Both Burkman and Terrio for the Cardinals are in the top 10 with runners in scoring position in the National League. Burkman is 5th. And Terrio is 10th.
That's nice to be hitting 300 as a team and with runners in scoring position as the Cardinals are.
Leading the majors. And off the end of the bat. Good pitch. Wieters wasn't sure where it was, and it won't matter. It's going to go over the screen. And a 1-2 count remains on Lance Burkman. Burkman in line, the voting going into today for the All-Star game, he would be one of the starting outfielders. Albert Pujols, bear in mind, we've hardly talked about it. I mean, this is a team without Albert Pujols, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, who's in every offensive category as a leader, and will be showing up at the All-Star game in street clothes, unfortunately. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and he got that one. Oh my. Way back, and goodbye home run. A 2 RBI shot for Lance Burkman, and it is 4-0 Cardinals.
Yeah, only his 4th home run from this side of the plate. 15 hitting left-handed. That's again only the 46th of his career. He's got 346 lifetime home runs. But again, they're trying to go away. Look where the ball is. I mean, it's 6-8 inches off the glove. Watch Wieters reach back for it. He wishes he could have caught it, but Burkman in the way. So again, not horrible velocity, but just right in the center of the plate at 88, and Burkman waiting.
57 runs batted in and 19 home runs for Lance Burkman. That'll be the 8th home run off Brian Mattis in just 25 innings pitched. Brian is coming off a ball game in which he surrendered a career high 3 home runs against Cincinnati. In for a strike to David Freese, 1-1.
That's why one of the keys to the game was dinger fever. You don't want to get that fever if you're pitching. And I know about that. Threw 9 in 2 games once.
1-1 delivery is a comebacker. Brian Mattis has got it. Over to Lee. Freese is retired. One of the numbers you keep track of during the season to see how you're doing is that run differential. A mighty big spread right there of the Yankees, 110 on the plus side. Then the Red Sox and the Rays, and the Orioles minus 54. Only the Twins in the American League have a larger negative run differential. 2 down here in the 3rd inning, and here's Rasmus. He struck out his first time up. Pitch is on the inside corner to him for a strike. Cardinals have used the long ball in this series against the Orioles. That ball is going to be fouled back. Cardinals have been up there, leading offensive team in either hits and or runs throughout the first half of the season. Jakubowski's got touched up for a Rasmus 2 RBI homer. Rasmus had a home run in game number 1, a solo shot. Holiday had a home run in that ball game, and that'll be fouled back.
Yeah, and Matt Holiday to his right, our left. Kyle Loesch, who started it out. Rain delay only had him 5 innings, but hit his spots.
That one has popped up, a silo shot at the plate. Matt Wieters is under it, and he's got it. It retires the side, but a big blow by Burkman, a 2 RBI homer, extends the Cardinal lead. A great chance for fans to greet former players, coaches. Every Monday and Thursday, home games at Camden Yards, there is the Birds Alumni Autograph Series. It's at the Masson booth on Utah Street near Gate A. It opens 90 minutes before the first pitch, stays open until 30 minutes before game time. Tonight, Tippy Martinez, Jimmy Williams, and Ron Hansen. We're all on hand signing some autographs and greeting fans. So come on out and join in the fun Mondays and Thursdays here at Camden Yards. Yeah, Cardinals have a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, I saw Tippy, and he came out to Kenny Singleton, who did his Cool Kids, which is a golf tournament he does every year here in Baltimore. Great to, of course, Kenny still lives here, even though he does the Yankee games, for kids with cancer. So saw Tippy out there. Saw Ronnie Hansen out there.
Great day, good cause.
Yeah, it really was. Last year was about 97. Actually, pretty nice weather on Monday.
Garcia against Andino. Andino a 1 for 3, getting the start at second base.
Well, you look at Jaime Garcia, and now we've seen a plus curveball, we've seen a plus changeup, and then again his fastball 88 to 92. It can be plus if you stay out of the middle of the plate.
And Andino will pop that one back and no play. Speaking of second baseman, Mark Ellis traded today. Went to Colorado for cash. Right-hand reliever Bruce Billings and a player to be named later. It might be fairly said that Mark Ellis lost his job to Mr. Weeks in Oakland and was not particularly happy about it. And let everybody know.
Well, we see that. You know, it might have been a year or two before you came over to do the Oriole games, but they had Black Monday where they sent everybody out. Billy Beane has one of those days, but you know, Ellis hurt his hamstrings. Weeks came up and played real well. And they've played real well.
Freese will not let his shortstop handle the ball. Maybe he will next time. That's twice in the game he's gotten right in front of Terrio and knocked the ball down laying on his belly, and this time he can't make the play.
We got to get him off the Red Bull. I mean, right here. I mean, this is a shortstop ball, and again it's Andino running, and again he's got speed.
Stumbling all over the place on that one. Terrio didn't even talk to him that time. Terrio just turned around and walked away.
I think he's given Ryan Terrio maybe your range isn't that good. He's been standing in front of him.
Right in front of him.
Why do you ever see a shortstop? I got it on a ground ball.
No.
No. We might have tonight.
That is a hit for Andino. They credit him with a single. He can thank Freese for that. Top of the order, Hardy has also picked up a hit. The Orioles have 3 singles now in the ball game.
Well, it does give you that extra out in a sense, so take advantage of it. Leadoff guy on, tough pitcher on the mound. Maybe you just need a break like that to get a couple of runs on the board.
Towering fly ball, but it's in the yard. Holiday is there. Andino tags, but will go back to first base. Holiday, we have been notified by our camera people who missed nothing. Mike saw that he hasn't got his showing in the Sox tonight. He had him way up to his knee the other night. Maybe it was the umpire.
Yeah.
And he was trying to define the strike zone. Well, tonight he's got him down wrapped around his heel.
And like I said, he's a rather large guy, so those socks come way up. That's
whatever
about 2 feet of strike zone. 2 feet of strike zone. Really, how do you know where the knees are in the modern day uniform?
You can't.
It's a little bit harder to tell.
He had him all the way up to the knees, showing all red in the series, and tonight showing none. Here's Nick Markakis, runner on at first base, 1 away. Nick continues with this great hit streak, the longest in the majors right now at 18 games, 415 during the streak, 12 RBIs. It is the longest streak in the American League this season, and he's raised his average from 236 to 282 during the streak. Hit into a double play his first time up. Ball is boxed by Molina.
Well, the guy that kind of prepares this Cardinal pitching staff is Dave Duncan, and when I saw him on Tuesday, of course Dave was here for a couple of years, he said, I know how good Markakis is. And 4 for 9, red hot. That he seems always, I guess either when they do talk to other people, I mean, just a guy that can get really hot, high breaking ball called there.
That's another called strike on a swing.
Really?
Yeah, he pointed at him, said you swung. He didn't.
Well, you know, Nick's not going to say anything. Very rarely ever does.
Well, maybe he did.
Yeah.
Brian, I take it back. That's why you're the umpire and we're upstairs. That was much closer to being a swing than the other 2 we've seen. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Andino off first base will go back.
And remember, no home runs against left-handers. So higher average. But again, got the double play. Nick took the first pitch and hit it right to Schumacher at second base for a double play the first time.
Jaime Garcia out of Mexico, Reynoso, Mexico. That one in the air to left field. Holiday, regardless of his socks, will still make the catch. Yeah. And Markakis is retired. Interleague play continuing. You take a look at the O's numbers. Pretty impressive batting average. but runs per game just haven't been enough. The average with runners in scoring position, not good enough, and the ERA too high. First 2 games against the Cardinals, 1 for 16 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, the Orioles are 5th in the American League. I mean, 10th in runs, but 5th in batting average. The hitting has really come around. Maybe not the runners in scoring position numbers you would like, but again, the key to winning, and we saw it the last 2 months last year, score more than you give up or give up less than you score, and that was really the case August and September. And if you can get back to that, all of a sudden, all the guys we're looking at right there have hope. That's what a starting pitcher wants to do. Make the guys playing behind him, hey, I just can go out and relax, do my job, get some hits, we'll win.
Adam Jones. He takes it, and the count goes to 2-0. Jones, a strikeout victim, his first time up, and Dino led it off with a single. He is still over there at first base. Garcia, 2-0 delivery to Jones. Got one to hit. Adam Ball. Rasmus is there, and he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 fly ball outs against the ground ball pitcher Garcia. Cardinals 4, Orioles nothing. RBIs for the Cardinals, 2 RBI homer by Burkman. Cruz and Schumacher have the others. Brian Mattis with a walk and a couple of strikeouts in the game. The Cardinals doing what they've done in each of the first 2 games, score early and then keep on scoring, a run here and a run there, and then it's the bottom of the 9th and you lose. And the Cardinals right now have made this game look very much like the first 2. They will have Molina, Tony Cruz, and Schumacher due up 7, 8, 9 in the order. Molina drew a walk and scored in the 2nd inning. Cardinals have had the leadoff man on 2 out of 3 so far. And the breaking ball will miss. Ball 1 with the Gold Glove catcher. Molina now 0 for 10 overall, 0 for 8 in the series. Brian Mattis's pitch to him will be down the right side and foul. The Orioles are not going to have a winning month. They are 11-13 coming into this final day. During our broadcast tomorrow night from Atlanta, we'll bring you the numbers for the team in June and for the individual players, and there have been some good numbers for individuals. Inside out, right field. Molina's retired, 1 away. Tonight's Captain Morgan game flow. Key hits using the long ball with Burkman and Brian Mattis. The mistakes he's made, as Jim says, in the middle. Cardinals have jumped on him, and they've got the lead. There's Burkman. The Orioles went 12-13 in April, 12-16 in May, and here in June are either going to be 12-13 or 11-14. So we're still looking for their first winning month of the year. Tony Cruz with a 1-0 count. Single, picked up the RBI in his first at bat. That is a fair ball. It'll roll into foul territory. It took a hop right over the bag. He's on his way to second base. Will go in standing. Ball gets away, but backed up by Mattis, who's over there behind second. So Cruz has got a 2 for 2.
Yeah, RBI the first time. Just Lantana, Florida, just a little bit south of where I live in the winter, and right there it looks like Reynolds just couldn't quite to get the glove on him. Maybe he thought it was going to hit the bag. But again, 26 round, the 802nd player, and a guy that came through their minor league organization, and then they eventually kind of made him into a guy that can catch. So he can be their second or third catcher, depending on whether Gerald Laird, who's on the DL, is activated.
Hit number 6. Schumacher takes that one to left. Reimold with a long run into foul territory and a no play. He has greeted that wall before this year.
Well, did he make the catch where he caught it and then fumbled and then caught it with his other hand, not the glove hand, and then all at the same time not colliding with the wall?
Cirque du Soleil kind of move right there.
And he's going to move maybe a little bit over, but he's pretty much out there. You would think they play Schumacher a little more to the left, but you can see they're actually playing him a step to pull. That's what the reports must say.
RBI and a sac fly his first time up. Schumacher will take the pitch up high for a ball. Head over to Facebook.com/Masson Orioles right now. Enter for a chance to win one of 30 Orioles autographed items Masson is giving away. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Schumacher with a cut, and on the off-speed pitch misses, and a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Cardinals have hit only .236 in June. They are 22nd in the major leagues in average for the month. They are also 10-15 in the month of June. So to come away with another win, even though it won't be 500, would be a pretty good month. Jones tried to deke him. Cruz will be held at third base. Schumacher's got a single. Corners covered, 1 out.
Yeah, see again, so many good sliders early on, and then the hanger. And so with 2 strikes, instead of finishing your pitch, and Rick Adair, the pitching coach, is going to come out and talk to him. The loss of velocity there, 83, 84 mile per hour on the slider. It went to 81, and then you just put it in a place where they can get to it. So 7 hits, 3 of them for extra base hits, a home run. That was a really damaging blow. Simone's going to get loose, and then a couple of doubles to go along with it.
Simone is up in the bullpen for the Orioles, having rejoined the team yesterday. Brian has given up as many as 9 hits in a game, and that was in his last outing. 9 hits in 4 2/3 innings this year. Not the kind of outing he or the team had hoped for so far here. 4 runs on 7 hits. We're in the 4th inning. Orioles starters continue to struggle to go deep into ball games, working just about 5 1/3 innings on average now for O's starters. The Orioles have the 2nd lowest number of quality starts in the majors, and at 34.
Yeah, and what, 17 games since you got somebody that pitched not into the 7th but through the 7th inning. That was Jake Arrieta. I think 3 or 4 pitchers that have gotten into the 7th but haven't completed it.
And that quality start stat is one that you can argue about whether
it's
really
gone down now, because that's when everybody was pumped up, and the league average was 450. It's gone down. The American League, I looked the other day, was 3.85, National League 3.80. So a quality start now, that's your average ERA. It's right there. So 3 runs in 6 innings doesn't wash anymore. Not now that things have changed. It's a pitcher's league, so you better compete with your pitching staff. Orioles have struggled doing that pretty much all year.
1st and 3rd, 1 away. Late swing. Look out.
Well, Terrio hits about almost 50 points higher against lefties. So he knows what his job is, not to hit in a double play, get a ball in the air if Brian Mattis gives him something.
Little pump of his heart right there, because he was looking over when that went into the seats, make sure nobody got hurt, and it looks like nobody did. That's one of those that's on a line into about the 2nd row. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Some of those pitching numbers Jim was talking about showing up. The Phillies and Braves for a couple of teams. Phillies staff ERA is 3.01. The Braves 3.07. They have a chance to be the first teams with a sub 3.0 ERA going to the All-Star break since 1989. 1-1 delivery, and that will be taken. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, I was talking to Ryan Theriot, and he came up his first year with the Cubs, at least for any long stretch of time, was 2006, and that was when Derek Lee was his teammate, won the MVP. He said you could not have had a better teammate. They still stay in touch, but he said made the big leagues a lot easier. And then he said Lou Piniella said, "Can you play shortstop?" He said, "No, that's what I did in college." He says, why don't you play tomorrow? So he played shortstop. Next day showed up at Wrigley Field. Lou said, "You're my shortstop." One-day audition.
That's the way Lou does things.
Well, I don't know who was behind him. He didn't tell me that, but
probably nobody.
Right.
Here's the 2-1. That's going to be lofted into left field for a base hit. That'll score one. Jones will get it back in. Tony Cruz will cross, having led off with a double, and it is a 5-0 Cardinal lead.
Yeah, not a bad curveball, but again, when you can't throw the ball by anybody, they just kind of cut the swing down. Watch him adjust to his curveball, and it's a good one. But again, he's just looking soft. You have that choice if you're a hitter. And again, you don't hit a lot of home runs. You hadn't hit one against a lefty, only one against a right-hander. And that's the type of hitter he is. A terrific at bat.
2 for 3 in the ball game for Theriot. He picks up the RBI. That'll be his 28th. Cardinals with 2 in the second, 2 in the third. So far, a run here in the fourth. They have runners on at first and second base, and Jay, their number 2 hitter, coming up. He's been called out on strikes, and he has lined out. John Jay, 222 with runners in scoring position. The Cardinals with 8 hits. Outfield moves in a couple of steps on Jay, and the breaking ball will be in there for a strike. And Brian Mattis on a short tether right now, as you can see, a disappointed Buck Showalter. 0-1 count. Simone is ready in the bullpen if needed. Pitch will be inside, and the count goes to 1-1. Again, the variation, fastball changeup, has been slight, if any.
Yeah, and that's one of the big differences. Again, if your velocity goes down a couple of miles per hour, but your changeup stays the same speed, it just is not fooling a whole lot of guys.
1-1 delivery in the air to left center field. Jones going back. Adam Jones not going to get there, and goodbye home run. Just made it over the wall. A 3 RBI homer by John Jay. 8-0 Cardinals.
Wow, big sacrifice fly against Rapata, who got sent out. Tough lefty, and right here, I mean, target in the middle of the plate, exactly where the ball is, and right down El Centro. And you think it's going to be a double, and it just keeps going.
And there are boos as Brian Mattis is done. Mattis heads off. Jay drives him out of the ball game. Goes only 3 1/3 innings, and Simone will come on with the Orioles trailing 8-0. It's the most he has ever surrendered in a ball game, and it came in only 3 1/3 innings, and he's out of there, and Simone is on.
Yeah, so Alfredo will come on. He was reinstated yesterday from the DL, hamstring problem. So again, I mean, certainly capable. He has pitched close up to 4 2/3 innings. So in one stretch, that was against Tampa Bay. So starter stuff. I mean, he's got 4 pitches.
He will start with Matt Holliday. 1 down, nobody on, as Jay cleared the bases with his 6th home run of the year. And he will foul the pitch by Simone back. 6th appearance at the major league level. 14 1/3 innings worked at the major league level, and the Orioles putting him back on and assigning Clay Rapata, putting him up for assignment, waiting for him to clear waivers, as they had to have somebody go long, and the reason why is just what's happened in this game.
Yeah, exactly. Rapata doing a great job against left-handers. What they were 4 for 34. Right-handers, of course, I think were something like 9 for 13. You just couldn't have a specialist, not when your starters aren't going deep.
And a 3-ball 1-strike count from Simone. Brian Mattis will watch. And the questions will continue to roll after this game.
Well, he didn't answer him, and that's unfortunate, obviously.
And we'll come back over the screen for Brian now. 3 1/3 innings here, 4 2/3 in his last start, 5 1/3 before that, and an inning and a third before that.
And his next start is scheduled to be in Texas.
Where the ball tends to carry, and hitters know how to send it that way.
Yes.
And Simone comes on and walks the first batter he faces. Holliday is on. That'll bring up Burkman and also our Coors Light cold hard blast.
Yeah, this is really the one that kind of, I know it's when it's 8-0, it's hard to say one pitch turns around, but it's 2-0. This is not his best side. It's certainly still a gifted hitter. But again, only his 46th home run lifetime. He's got 300 the other way, but and it was ahead in the count. And that, 2-0 to 4-0. And all of a sudden everybody relaxes.
And our cold hard blast brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Now Burkman will turn around, hit the other way.
It is so hard sometimes when you're inexperienced, and that's what Brian Mattis is, to do the things you need to do, which is to somehow make your guys think they can win and stay out of the big inning. Couldn't do that tonight. And then coupled with all those other stuff, you're right about the talk will continue. And it's warranted. You got to be concerned, I guess. I mean, it looks like he's out of breath. It's a beautiful night to pitch. Maybe he's not in shape yet. Certainly not pitching like it.
2-strike count on Burkman, getting his 3rd home run against the Orioles in this ball game. Simone gets him to go after that, and will pick up the strikeout.
Well, that's the one equalizer for Alfredo. He's got a great splitter. He can throw 93, 94. He's got a curveball that, and before he had the Tommy John surgeries in 2009, going into last season, he was going to be a starter on this club.
And maybe again.
Yeah, well, he certainly is capable of doing that.
2 down, freeze up, runner on at first base, pitch outside for a ball.
Of course, he kind of reinvents himself. He dropped his arm angle there about a foot. He asked Mark Connor when he was a pitching coach. I have no idea what he's doing. And he comes back with a kind of a slurve, somewhere between his slider and his curveball.
Cardinals came into this ball game 12-12 against left-handed starters on the year. Showalter going down to talk to his young starter after he let him sit for a while just to calm down. Simone gets that one in on him. And a question, how many games can you let a starter go out as struggling like this in the role? And he's supposed to be, one of your foundation pieces on this team. That hit him, and maybe not. He acted as though it did, but then comes back. He started to first base.
Yeah, it looked like a backup curveball that just spun, and he's looking at his arm. I guess he wants to hit. I mean, his ball Well, I guess maybe not.
They're going to call it a wild pitch. Although looked like one that Matt could handle, Wieters, but as it was riding in, it kept riding in. Now a runner at second base, 2 down. Freeze. He'll fight that off. Freeze with a single, a run scored, and he is grounded out.
Yeah, came in at 419 with runners in scoring position, as you mentioned, because of the broken left hand in his 59 games and limited at bats. But again, when it has mattered, he's been able to get hits. He got a big hit last night again. The add-on runs, single off of Jakubakis to make it 5-0.
2-2 delivery. He had all the infield gathered around him when he went to the bench between the last half inning, including Jose Akendo, the infield coach and third base coach. They were joking with him about what are you doing to your shortstop after he's had to dive after balls twice that would be handled by Terrio, the shortstop. One he got the out on, the other he got an error on. Ground ball to short himself this time. Hardy's got it, and Hardy will get him. But a big 4-run inning highlighted by a 3 RBI homer by John Jay, and it is 8-0 Cardinals. There were 7 Major League Baseball games, 1-run ball games, in which 3 or fewer runs scored, while the Tigers got 9 runs and a loss, more than any other MLB game yesterday combined. The Twins beat the Dodgers 1-0 after they'd lost the series opener 15-0 on Monday night. And that is only the 4th series in Major League history where there's been a 1-0 game involved in a series where there has also been a game with 15 runs. And Ben Rivera, he led off the bottom of the first inning with a triple and scored. Believe it or not, that's only the second time in the last 40 years that a player's led off the first inning with a triple and come around to score in the first inning. Just don't get first inning triples. Here's Vladimir Guerrero. The Orioles are down by a score of 8-0, being out hit 9-3. Vladdy grounded out his first time up. Jaime Garcia, a ground ball under Terrio's glove. He had played him to pull and could not get over to cover it in the middle. Guerrero's got a base hit leading off the 4th inning. See, the highest batting averages since 1990. Albert Pujols, who's injured, second to Tony Gwynn in that mark, and Vladimir Guerrero at 318 on the list, with Ichiro, Mauer, Helton. Now that's since 1990 for everyday players. Vladdy's on at first base. Leadoff single. The Orioles have had the leadoff man on 3 of 4 innings, but it hasn't helped.
And then Albert Pujols, you can throw about 40 home runs in there with that average. And Ichiro, obviously, the same batting average, but a little distinctive style. A little different.
Very. Lee can't believe it. Turns around to Brian Gorman for an extended discussion, which Brian quickly ends. 0-2 count on Derek Lee.
Well, 8-0 strike zone has been known to get a little bigger. That's just the way the game is played. And
bounces that one. Orioles head to Atlanta for a 3-game set starting tomorrow night, while the Cardinals will continue on to Tampa Bay to play. I was talking with some of the Cardinal people today. The Cardinals, of course, coming here for the first time in Baltimore, regular season game to play. The Cardinals have never played a game in Anaheim. Which is kind of amazing, but so be it. That's the only ballpark, only team they've not played at somebody else's ballpark.
Yeah, they go to Tampa. They actually go to St. Petersburg, which is where their spring training used to be before they moved to Jupiter.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going back, way back.
Ground ball to short. Theriot, Schumacher, Cruz, double play. Birdland Tradition returns on Friday, July 22. The first 25,000 fans, 21 and over, will get the O's camouflage floppy hat. Say that 3 times, you can be a broadcaster. Or you can go back to practicing law. Don't miss the annual fan favorite. Angels will be in town 705-888 for eBird at Orioles.com. That's July 22 for the floppy hat. Why is it called the camouflage floppy hat?
Well, maybe that's not the.
That's what you wear to prevent getting shot at during hunting season.
Yes. Well, that's.
Is that a camouflage?
It's a counter camouflage.
Counter camouflage.
Whatever you call it.
Thank you so much.
I'm still looking for Adam Bruck, the 78-year-old.
7 and 8-year-old.
Oh, that's what it is. Pitch, hit, and run. Wait.
Come on.
Adam's on the sheet
Where's
again.
Where's he from, Bel Air?
Bel Air. Or in Baltimore, Blair.
Blair.
I mean, when I first came to Baltimore, going down Al Park Ford. I said, "Where is it?" They said, "Oh, over Blair Road." I said, "You mean Paul Blair?" And they said, "No, Blair Road." I said, "Wait, how do you spell it?" BEL hyphen AIR. Blair Road. Welcome to Baltimore.
Thank you.
Hun?
Was that on Blair Road the other day?
Yeah.
Buying some fresh.
So, but Bel Air. But Adam lives in Bel Air.
Oh. Indiana right field, hit deep, looking at this one off the wall, halfway up. Weeder's on his way to nowhere. That's why Matt likes the warning track. It bounces over and he gets 2. That's a long single, hit the ball hard.
One of the nuances of Camden Yard was, nooks and crannies like out of the older ballparks. And, of course, the scoreboard high and shallow in right field. Though a lot of times it's kind of like Fenway. Well, we've seen some rockets up there that are only singles, home runs in most every other ballpark. That might have gone out of a lot of stadiums, the way he hit that ball.
Certainly was high enough. Weeders will stay. Molina blocks it. So the Orioles try and get something going with 2 down. Second hit of the inning with a double play took Guerrero off the bases. Reynolds reached on an error his first time up. 5 hits now for the O's, but again they are singles, as the Orioles have been prone to do. There goes the bat and the ball. Base hit. Weeders will make the turn and head to third. Holliday's going to throw to second, and no play back at the bag. Reynolds a long single.
Yeah, I think he doesn't get out of the box because of the bat shattering. Wondering where it went, because that ball's hooked into the corner. You would think, because he runs pretty well. Big guy, big strong guy. Right off the end of the bat. And he'll throw the shard down. But Holliday had to go a long, long way. But again, 8-0. You're not getting thrown out with 2 outs to end an inning.
So Nolan Reimold will get another chance. Reimold struck out first time up. He had 2 on. He's got runners at first and third here. And will foul it off. A strikeout victim, 1 of 3 for Jaime Garcia. This is what we were talking about. This is where you can earn some at-bats and more playing time. Get hits in these situations where you can drive a run in. Easy to say, tougher to do always, but especially when you haven't had an at-bat since June 19 prior to tonight.
There lies the difficulty.
Jeez.
And Jaime Garcia. I mean, you could be playing every day, and you can see nothing's automatic about trying to hit off him.
Garcia with 2 down and a 2-strike count. And that'll be in the dirt. Molina again will block it. By the way, Garcia was a Baltimore Orioles pick. 30th round in the 04 draft, but he did not sign with the Orioles. And there was a story out about him not passing one of the tests that the Orioles gave at the time. That may have been a reason why he didn't sign. Pitch is taken inside, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. There were some IQ personality tests the Orioles, that was before I came here, gave. Obviously, because if they'd have given it when I came, I wouldn't be here.
You would have been in a large group of people, obviously.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Runners off first and third.
Good eye there. Again, when you're not hitting. Little cutter inside corner, trying to get him to chase. Boy, he lays off this. See that little left to right break. And you would imagine he'll come back to the changeup.
Wieters at third, Reynolds at first. Swung on and fouled off.
And he did, and he hung it. Sometimes you'll throw a pitch, you won't make a good one, you won't execute it, and you'll get lucky. It'll be too high. And that's just a little bit out of the strike zone, but you're not taking it 3-2.
Nolan in interleague games this year came in 4 for 10 with a homer. Drives that one in the air to left center field. He got all of that way back. And goodbye, home run. Nolan Reimold, a 3 RBI homer, puts the Orioles back in this ball game.
Well, there's your upside to this young man. He can hit for power. He's a pretty good defensive guy. He runs every ball out like at the last inning of a World Series. And then this is what Terry Crowley used to talk about. Power. Just trying to make contact, and on one hop to Koji Uehara out in the bullpen. I want to see.
He heard Jim Presley, the hitting coach, today when Jim told him, make it hard for Buck to have to pull you out of a ball game. Show that you can deliver and you stay. And that's the kind of hit that gives you time.
Well, that's the kind of hitter Jim Presley was. Home run guy. Power guy when he came up with the Mariners.
So the Orioles are back in it as Reimold delivers the homer, his 4th. He now has 11 RBIs on the season. And the 6th home run against Garcia, all hit by right-handers. And Dino's going to lash one to the middle, and he's got a base hit. That's 5 hits in the inning, but for that double play, this could be a very big inning, bigger than it even is already.
Well, you go back to last night. Chris Carpenter, complete game, 132 pitches. Dave Duncan was talking about it. He said he had that one moment, and that was the 5th inning when the Orioles loaded the bases, but then Carpenter made some great pitches. And I would imagine Dave Duncan, who, terrific catcher in his own right, great defensive catcher, is going to go out and say, you know what? It's about making good pitches. You're not doing it. And the Orioles, they showed it against Cincinnati. They've been swinging the bat well. Good pitching gets them out, as it does most teams. Bad pitchers, all of a sudden you do crawl back into this game.
So Reimold got it done. Now Hardy coming up with a runner on at first base. Hardy, of course, has been driving the ball. Still with that 300-plus batting average. And during the month of June, a 370 batting average with 9 home runs this month, one shy of the Oriole record set by Tejada, who had 10 home runs in a month. Pitch will be taken down low for a ball. And all of a sudden, Garcia, who had been cruising along, is cruising no longer.
Well, the amazing number, the 11 home runs, is more than Oriole shortstops have hit that in 3 years.
That one to left field. Holiday over and makes a sliding catch. And that will end the inning. But Nolan Reimold has delivered a 3 RBI homer, coming with 2 down. Wieters and Reynolds score ahead of him, and it's 8-3. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Gorgeous evening here at Camden Yards, and an 8-3 ball game as the Orioles give the home crowd something to cheer about. Simone now trying to hold him down. Yes, J.J. Hardy should be there at the All-Star game. Maybe he will be. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Midnight tonight. Last chance to cast your ballots. Hardy won't make it as on the voting side of it in all likelihood, but certainly has a chance to be picked by Ron Washington.
Yeah, and the Orioles down in Texas too. We'll have a chance to see him play when he makes the decision-making process.
And as we've said, it largely depends on the need of the team as to who gets selected. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that'll be scooped. Rasmus has struck out and popped out 2 for 8 in the series, 2 home runs. Has a 6-game hit streak going. The Cardinals on top 8-3, but the Reimold home run putting things back in perspective for the Orioles. 1-2, and that'll miss away. 2-2. Series in Atlanta will kick off tomorrow night. Jeremy Guthrie, Jared Jurgens, he's going to be one of the all-star pitchers. 10-3 on the year with a 207 earned run average. And the 2-2 is foul tipped into the middle.
Yeah, a little split-fingered fastball. In fact, Verlander won his 11th today, as did Sabathia. So right here, just tumbling right through the zone. So again, if he stays square, which he does there, he has a tendency when he gets out of whack, maybe gets a little tired, he goes left. Ball goes all over the place.
Yadier Molina will foul it back. 0 for 1, a walk and a run scored. 3-run homer by John Jay, 2-run homer by Burkman. Both coming off Brian Mattis have been the big blows for the Cardinals. Here's the 0-1. Molina in the air. Right center. Markakis. 2 down. The State of Baseball History brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios, a network ahead to learn more. Visit Verizon.com/getFios. Whitey Ford, 1961, first pitcher in the American League history to win 8 games in a month. In 85, Pedro Guerrero and the Dodgers. He tied the Major League record, 15 home runs in June. And Eddie Murray in 95 with Cleveland became the 20th player in history with 3,000 hits, all on the state, June 30. Strike taken, Tony Cruz. He has doubled, single, scored a run, and driven a run in. So Cruz has done damage in his first appearance in this series. Sweeping breaking ball that stayed up and in. Cruz came up from AAA Memphis on May 23. Got his first start at third base. Shallow left, Reimold Hardy. Hardy wants it, and he's got it. So Simone, a very strong inning, retires the side in order. First time that has happened in the ball game. 8-3 Cardinals. Cardinals jumped out early at the 8-0 lead. Reimold's homer has put the Orioles right back in it. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, great to have you with us tonight. And Brian Mattis, what do you say? What do you do at this point?
Well, I think it just moved forward. I think You know, the harsh reality, and we just saw it with Jamie Garcia, who 13-game winner, 2.70 ERA, comes in 6 wins, 3 losses. If you pitch in the middle of the plate, whether you have a little bit better stuff than Mattis or not, you're going to get hit hard. We just saw that. I think Brian's just got to, you got to be a realist. He has to be welcome to change. You are struggling. You know, there are some reasons for him. I thought he was better than he was a couple of games ago, but again, he didn't make good enough pitches, and that's the name of the game up here. Ferguson, you know, he got sent down. Tillman got sent down after he gave up 1 run in 5 out of 6 games. They didn't like the way he was throwing the ball. So, you know, we'll just have to see. But again, your opportunity, when they give you the ball, you're just going to have to get better, and that's really up to him.
So Brian Mattis will hope for better things, and we'll see after the ball game, of course, what Buck Showalter will have to say about it. The Orioles are back in this, and here is Nick Markakis leading it off. Nick has hit into a double play, and he is flied out. Jones and Guerrero to follow, and he kicks it off with a base hit. He'll make the turn and stay. So the Orioles are getting to Garcia. They're seeing his pitches, and the leadoff man on again for the O's.
It's the old message to Garcia. Well, I think Jaime's got it. And this is just Nick Markakis again now with a 19-game hitting streak and getting his hits and no tension. Sees the ball, swings at the ball, hits the ball.
19-game hit streak. Each one he adds to that is a new personal record for him. And now the Orioles will see if they can use it to kick off another run production inning here. Jones will go to third base. Playing in was Freese. Schumacher. And the Orioles hit into their 3rd double play of the night.
Yep. The threat ender, the inning ender. Well, it doesn't end the inning, but he gets 2 quicks out. Little change up. Jim Presley, the Orioles hitting instructor, said that, and we've seen Adam make some great adjustments, but a problem with some of the young hitters, old hitters, or whatever is you go up there, you have a plan. I'm going to look for a change up, look something soft, and then if it's a pitcher's pitch, you still swing at it. So again, that's the difficulty of hitting. Even if you guess right, you still have to get a good pitch to hit, and Garcia made the better pitch than Jones expected.
Orioles were concerned coming into the year about ground ball double plays and strikeouts. They have hit into the 3rd most ground ball double plays in the American League. Strikeouts, however, they stayed away from. They're only 6th as a team in strikeouts. Not bad. Vladimir Guerrero to center. And just like that leadoff single seems like it was 5,000 years ago. Only 3 come to the plate. It remains an 8-3 Cardinal lead. Tomorrow's action, it'll be game 1 in Atlanta against the Braves. Jeremy Guthrie on the mound. Jared Jurgens making the start for Atlanta. Our coverage on MASN HD at 7 with O's Extra presented by Verizon 4G LTE in the game at 7:30. All the access you need right here on MASN. Shattered back ground ball to Hardy off the bat of Schumacher. One down. One away, sixth inning. The Braves, we told you, they're tremendous staff ERA. McCann behind the plate and at it, an all-star. And Jurgens, yikes.
Well, you get them, and then you get Hudson's going to pitch, I think, to the second game, and then Brandon Beachy. I watched him when he pitched against Seattle the other night. Young pitcher just off the DL. So again, got your work cut out. But I tell you, if Guthrie throws the ball the way he did additionally in his game against the Reds, there'll be a little duel tomorrow night in Atlanta. It'll be even hotter than the temperature.
Atlanta is trying to stay with Philadelphia. The biggest spread in any division is the 4.5 game lead the Phillies have over Atlanta coming into today's play. I think the Braves had the day off today. How nice.
Well, they came back. They played that afternoon game on Wednesday up in Seattle. So they got home late, maybe early Thursday morning, and then
they are off today. Yep. Philadelphia lost today, so it's a 4-game lead now for the Phillies over Atlanta. Ryan Theriot, the leadoff batter, that'll be foul back. We were talking about that Orioles trip. I mean, everybody knew looking towards that All-Star break it was going to be tough. You go on the road, 3 in Atlanta, 3 in Texas, and then you got a 4-game series in Boston, and you're not going to get into Boston for game 1 until about 5 o'clock in the morning, because it is a night game in Texas, then fly to Boston and play that night. So that part of it also is not going to be easy. Boy, what a beautiful sunset.
Yeah, weather just terrific after the rain delay on Tuesday night. It cleared out.
3-2 to Theriot, and he'll go in the air to right. Andino is under it. So Simone came on in the 4th inning and walked the first batter. He has given up nothing since.
He's got good stuff. I still remember Alan Dunn, of course, we wish him well in his college career. He's going to be a college coach, and he said there last spring, he said nobody was throwing the ball. The ball came out of the hands like Alfredo Simone, and that's the kind of stuff he can have. I mean, I still think, again, if he works a little bit on his windup and being a little bit more direct, it'd even be better and more consistent, because he's got that split-fingered fastball that is really effective when he stays towards home plate.
Jay delivered a blow in the 4th inning. That was big time. 1 for 3 in the game, his 6th home run. Just enough to clear that fence into the bullpen. Ground ball to the middle. Hardy diving. He's got it. Makes the throw, and Lee cannot hang on.
Well, that is Major League Baseball, because a lot of times television slows stuff down, but again, you can see how quickly this play develops. A rocket up the middle. There's 3 steps, a dive from your knees, because Jay can run a little bit, and then if Derek Lee, who is about as good as I've seen this year over at first base, can hold on to this, you get the out. And that's how quickly. Look at this agility. He goes to his right, he can go to his left. Right here, a little face plant, and then you come up firing from the knees.
That will be an infield hit, number 10 for the Cardinals. There are 2 down, and that gets Holliday the at-bat with a runner on. Matt Holliday has doubled, scored, walked, grounded out. Going for the long ball right there, and fouls it off. Well, Holliday, the opportunity again with 2 away. Cardinals have done damage here in this series with 2 down. Batting average after 0-1 for Holliday, .359, the highest number in the majors. Here's the 0-1 waiting.
Well, it appears to me, from watching him hit last night, Chris Giacobacis made some great pitches and good curveballs on the first pitch. He wasn't looking for him, he just took him. I mean, as good as you can throw a curveball. A lot of other hitters will chase, get themselves out. So it looks like he's got, not only is he big and strong, he's got a pretty good idea of what he wants to do.
And an 0-2 count on the foul ball by Holliday.
They can't quite catch up to 96. There is Chris. Yeah, those guys. Britain in the to the right. Jakubakis is right here. These two kids, you know, he came up, Chris came up, Jakubakis came up as and there's Arrieta. They were all out hitting early today. The two best hitters, the former infielder, outfielder, Jakubakis, and then Britton. Britton's got a great swing. He must have been an awfully good high school hitter. He actually won it today and then ran around the bases like Babe Ruth with a home run to right center field. So his group won.
He'll get a chance in game 3 in Atlanta to hit. Runner goes, ground ball to short. Hardy will have to go to first to get the out, and doubles. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Simone getting the job done. Cardinals up 8-3.
Range because he's been going all over the place. I'll tell you right. I mean, Guerrero going to hit a chopper. Watch this, right in front of Theriot, the shortstop. And not only does he do it once, he does it twice.
All right, Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Glad he didn't think it was funny.
No.
Get thrown out.
But he got to hit the next time. So.
Derek Lee leading it off here. Lee is 1 for 2, a single, is hit into a double play. Wieters and Reynolds to follow. The Cardinals jumping out to the 8-0 lead before Reimold got the home run. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Garcia's walked none and struck out 3.
Yeah, things in baseball, they say, you didn't play long enough, it'll even out. And of course, you only played 2 years, so it doesn't even out. Chris Guerrero is closing. I mean, Vlad's closing in on 8,000.
There's Freeze.
Yeah. There you go.
And the first out recorded here in the 6th inning. Take a look at our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Did you know the last Cardinals steal of home plate? 0-8 at Washington.
Let me guess who it was.
The rest of the story, Cesar's Torres. Part of a double steal with Rick on Keel.
Well, Cesar's doing all right. I haven't seen him. He had the transposition and they moved the nerve in your arm, so said he was progressing nicely. So hopefully he'll be ready to come back on the active roster for the Orioles.
One of the leaders for the Orioles. Yeah. Matt Wieters delivered a single, scored ahead of Reimold on the homer. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Couple of hits in 10 at bats in this series. Orioles historically now 1 win, 4 losses against the Cardinals in regular season play. Trying to avoid the sweep by the Cardinals tonight. Garcia will miss down low with it, and the count goes to 2-1. Jake Arrieta scheduled to pitch game 2 in Atlanta. Buck Showalter said before the game today Arrieta's side session was the best he's seen. That he was throwing the ball as hard and as accurately as he has ever done. So that's good news regarding Jake Arrieta in the middle of your screen there. And we'll get the start in Atlanta game 2. We have 3 different start times in Atlanta for the game. 7:30 for the game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on Saturday, and then 1:30 on Sunday. So the Orioles get what they need. Base runners here. Reynolds coming up. First walk surrendered by Garcia.
Yeah, the ability though to throw the double play ball. He's done it 3 times.
70% of balls put in play off Garcia have been ground balls this year.
Yep, that's an amazing number. But again, the changeup has good bite to it. Same with the sinker, cutter. And then he pitches down in the strike zone. Curveball going down. It's hard to hit it in the air.
Reynolds, the single, last time up and scored on the Reimold homer. He's also reached on an error. And he gets that one to deep left field, and goodbye, home run! The Orioles are right back in it. A 2 RBI homer by Reynolds makes it 8-5.
Well, they had 2, and the Orioles have 2. Right down Broadway, smokes, and boy, does this ball get out of here in a hurry. Matt Holliday thinks it's going to go off the wall, and it's just out of here quickly.
And our American League leaders brought to you by Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Action-packed table games, red hot slots await. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races. Home runs as a third baseman. Mark Reynolds now is the leader, 2 ahead of Beltre with Texas. And Garcia, a 2-homer ball game against him, 7 on the year, all hit by right-handers. First warm-up action. Mott in the bullpen for the Cardinals, and that's going to be it.
Yep. A hard-throwing right-hander. I met him on Tuesday. I said, we haven't seen you. He said, well, I hope you don't see me tonight, but I think that's not going to be the case.
And boy, was Garcia surprised. He turned around and looked. He didn't even know anybody was up in the bullpen.
Well, Mott got up in a hurry. About winning. And then again, you got to earn it sometimes. And Tony La Russa, only thing he cares about is, do we win tonight? And of course, the pitcher of record is Garcia, so he can accomplish both things.
Takes as long as he can to give his reliever a couple of more throws out there. Reynolds drives him out with a homer. A chance to win this ball game and get his 7th win of the year against 3 losses, but the Orioles, they started getting to him in the 4th inning and have stayed on him.
Yeah, so the hard throwing Jason Mott last couple of years on the Cardinals, but he'll come in trying to maintain this 3-run lead. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. You can see almost a strikeout per inning, which has pretty much been the case last year. 54 and 52 in the third inning. Doesn't give up a lot of hits, and usually has pretty good control.
Always very tough on right-handers. They hit 198 against him last year. They're hitting 182 against Mott this year. The left-handers hit 289. Here's Nolan Reimold. Nolan delivered a blow that got him started in the fourth inning. It came with 2 on. First home run since May 26 into the bullpen and deep. First of 2 that Garcia would surrender. And Reimold will take it for a strike.
And this kid Mott throws close to 100 miles per hour. Starts with a closed stance. In other words, that front leg is kind of across his body, and look at that. Probably don't see it real well. And then there's a slider. Yep. So 97, 98, and then about as good a slider as you can throw. It looks like a fastball, and just lets this ball slide away from contact. And still really hard. We're close to 90 miles per hour.
Well, the Cardinal bullpen being asked to end the Orioles attack here. Each team has 10 hits in the ball game. Each team has 2 home runs. Each team's left 4 on. Here's Robert Andino on a check swing and a strike on the outside corner. Andino 2 singles in the number 9 spot. He's had 3 hits and 5 at bats in this series against the Cardinals. Came in as a 200 hitter in interleague play this year. 0-1 delivery towards the hole. This is going to have to take a strong throw, and it's off the mark, and he's on with another base hit. 3 for 3 in the game.
Well, it's good to see Robert get back on track. For a while it was only lefties really struggling. So right here, the minute it gets by Freeze, I'm surprised it did. Terrio's got to make a long throw, and then not known for his arm strength. I don't think he would have thrown him out anyway. You need base runners, or the Orioles have one.
Robert Andino is his 3rd 3-hit ball game of the year. The Orioles are an on-deck batter away from getting the potential tying run to the plate. 11 hits for the O's. And J.J. Hardy. Hardy has singled 1 for 3 in the game, 4 for 11 in the series. Hardy has had a solid season of interleague play along with everything else, hitting .293 with 4 home runs in interleague games. And he will take the pitch for a strike. Trevor Miller in the bullpen.
One of their 3 lefties down there. And I asked Jason Mott, I met him on Tuesday. I said, how you doing? He said, well, I was pretty good till I came in against the Phillies and faced 2 batters that hit them both. That must have hurt at 97, 98. Yeah. Hurt Tony La Russa and hurt the guys he hit.
0-2 delivery is fought off. Entertain clients, colleagues, and more with a great custom suite package here at Camden Yards. Private suites available. Locations, packages vary. Great way to make a statement for your company and yourself. Orioles.com/suites for a private tour. Call for it.
Yeah, Jason Mott, he started as a catcher. I thought he had a little Troy Percival in him. Percival, who went on to be one of the great closers, was a catcher, and then got to get the hat down a little lower.
0-2 delivery, and got him to go after one up high, and that will end the inning. The Orioles, they've had 2 or more homers in 4 of their last 6 games now. Reynolds getting the 2nd homer for the Orioles tonight has made this an 8-5 game. by PNC for the achiever in you. Tyler Townsend. See some very big numbers that he is putting up. Carolina League, one of the slugging leaders. Third round pick 09 out of Florida International from Lewis, Delaware, where he was the Gatorade Player of the Year for the state in 06.
Yeah, he moved right up the ladder last year. Two of the three affiliates hitting over 300.
Fouled off by Burkman. Simone coming on for Brian Madison, the fourth inning. He's given up just a walk and a single as he goes into the seventh. Burkman's delivered his 19th home run, a 2-run homer. 1 for 3 in the game, and will foul that one back and an 0-2 count on it.
Alfredo's done exactly what a long man is supposed to do. Slam the door, and he's done that.
And the Oriole bats have done what they're supposed to do. Get back into the ball game. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Ooh, Simone does a 360. He thought he had that on a called strike.
Well, you talked about it again, the third game, and Lance Burkman's played in all of them, and he's got a pretty selective eye. He only had 3 official at bats in 2 games because he earned some walks.
And Burkman will take that one away. Now the Cardinals are going to try and obviously add some runs here in what's gone from an 8-run lead to a 3-run lead, with the Orioles out hitting them 11-10.
And both bullpens have a little bit of action now, both the Cardinals and the Orioles.
Simone up high with it, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Left-hander Gonzalez, the Orioles lefty in the bullpen. And there is Boggs, Mitchell Boggs. 3 ball, 2 strike delivery. Simone got it in, and Burkman's going to drive it out.
Wow.
Hello, Utah Street, and goodbye, home run. 2 home runs in the ball game for Burkman. Numbers 19 and 20. 9-5.
Well, he came in when he's catching him in a hurry, or at least with Chili Davis. He was 5th among all-time switch hitters. Chili Davis had 5 more, now 3 more. Watch this splitter go a long, long way. Speed up the bat, take the close pitches, get a better pitch to hit, and he clubs it. Boy, health is wealth for Lance Burkman. One of the slowest bats I saw last year because of the injury. This year, entirely different hitter. Back to where he used to be.
That one to right field. Freeze, foul ball, and that's exactly where it ends up being, a foul ball. So the Cardinals respond by getting one of the runs back, their 3rd home run of the ball game. And Simone surrenders it, and in 17 innings that he's pitched, that's the 2nd home run he's given up. Burkman doing a number here in this game. 4th multi-homer game of the season for Lance Burkman. David Freese again fouls it away.
So if Burkman is 5th, Chili Davis 4th, Eddie Murray's got to be up there, Mantle's up there, and who am I missing?
Switch hitting home runs?
Yeah. Probably an obvious person that I am. There's Eddie. He's here tonight.
0-2 is taken outside.
Wait a minute.
Nope.
It's eluding you and me.
We'll find it. 1-2 delivery on the way, and reached and fouled it straight back into the screen. One ball, 2 strike count on Freese. Leadoff homered by Burkman. He has a 3 RBI ball game now. And the 1-2 delivery. In the air to right center field. Jones going back. So's Markakis, and that's going to hit right at the base of the wall. Adam Jones will get it in on the high hop, and Freese has got a double.
Yeah, with his speed, that's probably a triple, but I think he thought the ball was going out. The ball's going to short hop the wall and go straight up in the air. Long, long run. And he's just kind of cruising around there, and then when the ball goes this high, and again, you don't want to be making the 1st or the 3rd out at at third base, but he can run.
That will be it for Simone. He's coming out of the ball game effective until the 7th inning, and now Gonzalez, the left-hander, will come on to face Rasmus with the runner on at second base.
Yeah, he got a win on Friday night. Even though Adam Jones had to throw out a runner, the Orioles would win that game 5-4 in 12 innings. So he comes in. He's actually done a pretty good job against lefties. Only 12 for 54. Righties, a little different story. The left-handed number 222, and then righties hitting 382 off him. So pretty good matchup here.
Runner on at second.
Yeah, Rapata, lefties had a real problem with him, but as we mentioned, not enough room on this club because of the inability of the starters to go deep enough.
With the 2 home runs off Brian Mattis tonight, the Orioles starters have now given up 50. They, however, are 4th in the league home runs surrendered on the positive side. The bullpen, of course, now has given up 46. And the bullpen for virtually the entire year for the Orioles has led the league in home runs surrendered. Colby Rasmus, 2 strikeouts, a pop out, 2 home runs in the series. Gonzalez's pitch is inside to him, and he falls behind 3-0. Molina, the catcher, waiting on deck. Runner on at second base. 12 hits. The Cardinals go back on top in the hit department, as well as adding the run. Freeze off second base. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way for a strike. Free ball, 1 strike delivery, and walked it. So Gonzalez surrenders the walk. Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow. Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Mel Anton, and Phil Wood. All the topics around the game. Live look-ins from the ballpark. Amber Theoharis with the special. She's sitting down with J.J. Hardy. Check it out weeknights 5:30 right here on Masson for the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. Now Gonzalez will face Molina. Molina walked in the second inning and scored. He has flied out to right field twice. Inside out. Andino back. Look out. Look out. Makes a nice catch. A very tough angle.
Yep, getting a little more acclimated to second base. So again, normally he probably would have turned the other way because eventually he almost does a 180, even though it's a very unique way of doing it. And again, the angle's so much different when you move from short to second base. And again, he's been battling, and I think all in all, he's done a pretty nice job over there.
So Andino makes a nice catch to hold the runners. Freeze stays at second. Rasmus at first. Cruz, a double, single, run scored, and an RBI. And Cruz will take the pitch for a strike. He's had, coming into the game, he was 1 for 12 against left-handers, and in his first at bat against left-hander Brian Mattis, he delivered a single. And in the 4th inning, he picked up a double. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and the fastball will miss up high. 1-1 to Tony Cruz.
Well, let's see. We got a former catcher who came in a hold situation, Mott. We got a first baseman, third baseman, catcher, part-time catcher. And I tell you, watching him the other night when Chris Carpenter pitched, he received the ball real well. He's done a nice job.
That one to short. Hardy's got it. There's one. Andino to first. Nice double play. Hardy and Dino in lead. 7th inning stretch time. Brought to you by Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. Drink responsibly. A double play to end the inning, and congratulations, Stacy Ogren for Baltimore. $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery double play contest. So a home run added by the Cardinals in that inning to get one of those back, but the Orioles still very much within striking distance.
Yeah, and it's, again, Brian Mattis, we talked about him the last time we were on camera. Certainly's got to be disappointed because, again, when you hit the 2-run home run and then you get the 3-run home run and you get back into the game, it makes you even have wanted to pitch better than you did. But again, the one thing we just saw Michael Gonzalez with Rapata being sent out or a chance to go to AAA. He's going to be a real important part the last 3.5 months because he's going to have to get both lefties and righties out. Good to see him get the double play.
And we saw what Simone's going to be doing. He is, as his manager says, the bridge, trying to get through these long middle innings that are necessary. That's going to be his role, at least for now, and then maybe a starter.
Well, he actually pitched very well, but again, being on the DL with a hamstring problem, looked like he got a little bit tired, made the one mistake. But again, Burkman's now got, 301 home runs against right-handed pitching. He hits everybody.
Trevor Miller has come out of the bullpen to do the pitching. Only 14 innings worked and 13 hits off him. So the Orioles will try and get to Miller as Mott came on and got 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit and had 2 strikeouts. And the Orioles' Nick Markakis will be going up against the left-hander as both managers try and get the matchups they want in this ball game. Descalso comes on to play at third base, a defensive replacement. Descalso's been in all 3 games for Freeze at third at the end of the ball game. Markakis a single, 1 for 3, 19-game hit streak as a result. Trevor Miller got it in, inside out to left. Holiday. 1 down, bottom of the 7th inning. $28,340, 28,340 the announced attendance tonight. That matchup is what Tony La Russa was after. That will be it for Miller, as he will be coming out of the ball game, getting the left-hander out of there, Nick Markakis. Now Jones and Guerrero will be due up, and for the rest of this ball game, Tony La Russa will do what he loves most: match them up. reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
Yeah, Mitchell Boggs, yeah, out of the University of Georgia. Dalton, Georgia is where he was raised. So again, pretty good numbers. A couple of years ago had the lowest ERA down at AAA Memphis. So we saw Lance Lynn come in the other night, strike out 5 out of 7. Jason Mott strikes out 2 out of 3, throwing flame. And again, it seems like they all throw around 94 to 97, 8 miles per hour.
Adam Jones up in the bottom of the 7th with 1 down. Jones has had an 0 for 3 in this game and a 1 for 10 against the Cardinals. Adam, a good interleague average coming in at .298 with 4 home runs this year, but the Cardinals in this series have shut him down so far. 27-year-old right-hander, former starter, started for the Cardinals in games in 09. Totally out of the bullpen last year. 61 games appeared in with a 2-3 record.
Well, that's how most good organizations, you start your guys as starters. You see what kind of pitch selection they have. Mike Flanagan was talking about it. If you have 3, you got a chance. If you have 4, even better if they're quality pitches. Here's Dave Duncan. And then you get guys that can throw strikes. So you don't have to worry, because usually if you throw strikes and you have good stuff, it means you have a good windup.
Jones bearing down, fouls that one back. Orioles have battled back from an 8-0 deficit. They had cut it to 3. Now it's back up to 4 on the home run by Burkman, his second of the night in the 7th inning. Terrio an RBI, 3-run homer by John Jay, 3 RBIs Burkman, 2 home runs. RBI by Cruz and an RBI by Schumacher. So everybody's helped and Jones is gone.
Yeah, 1 pitch to hit, the slider, the second slider he saw, and then watch the bottom drop out of this 96-mile-per-hour pitch. Starts on the plate, then dives down and in, and Adams swings right through it.
Boggs gets the strikeout. The Oriole RBIs tonight: the long ball, Reynolds with the 2 RBI homer, and Reimold with the 3 RBI homer. Vladimir Guerrero, a single, 1 for 3 in the ball game, and 3 for 11 against the Cardinals. St. Louis trying to move into a tie for first place with the Brew Crew having lost a game today. The Orioles could fall 12.5 out if the Cardinals maintain the lead and sweep this series. Orioles have been swept 4 times on the year. They have not been swept in interleague play this year. Buck Showalter's team has got to head out for the long road trip after this, so looking for a big comeback here to go away with. That'll be bounced away again, 2-1. Boggs with the 2-1 delivery off the end. Schumacher's got it, makes the play, and that will do it. 3 up and 3 down, 7th inning. The Cardinals maintain a 4-run lead.
Highlights a lot of offense. Matt is trying to win a second game. Gets knocked around as they hit their home runs. Nolan Reimold, the Orioles trailing 8-0, 8-3 on his 3-run shot. 8-5 with Mark Reynolds, 15th home run. A missile into the left field seats. And then Lance Burkman, 2-run shot off of Mattis. A solo home run, his 20th of the year. And that comes off Alfredo Simon. Your game summary right there. Reimold, Reynolds, home runs, Burkman. But again, starting pitching for the Orioles not good as the Cardinals take an early 8-0 lead.
Skip Schumacher, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Gonzalez stays on against the number 9 hitter. Single and a run scored, sac fly, and he has grounded out. Schumacher to be followed by Terrio and Jay, top of the order, and will foul that one back. 324 off left-handers. Terrio, the man on deck. See whether or not. Looks like Gonzalez just going to have to eat up some outs here. The Orioles do not want to go any deeper into the bullpen in this ball game. Here's the 1-2 delivery over the top and got it.
Well, 94-96, and boy, that wind up so much better than it was last inning. Even though he got the job done, double play to get out of it. I mean, pretty balanced. It falls off, and if you're sitting at home, you're going, well, how do they ever let a guy do that? Well, if you do that and you're successful, they let you do that. Mitch Williams, 43 saves for the Phillies back in the 90s. He'd fall down.
Literally.
Well, and he did in the World Series when Carter hit the 3-run home run. But it's kind of like, it's not what you really want, but it's kind of like the championships tour. You know, they say when you play golf, it's not how, it's how many. If you're getting them out and you're falling all over the place, it's fine. When you're not getting them out, and you got to make some changes.
Terrio ground ball high, hopper played by Andino. 2 down. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Your choices: Nolan Reimold, who's delivered a 3 RBI homer in the ball game. Mark Reynolds, he has picked up a 2 RBI homer, his 15th of the year. And Lance Burkman, who's hit 2 home runs and has 3 RBIs. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862. John Jay, 2 away, nobody on. Gonzalez will get it in there for a strike. Cardinals, after their 44th win of the year, they could go 6 games above 500 with a victory tonight. Had him fooled on that one. Swung on a miss. Count goes to 0-2. Jay's done pretty well against lefties. 268. All of his home runs have come from the other side. 0-2, and that'll be taken down low. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, we saw him sacrifice fly on Tuesday, the 5th run. Make some great plays last night. And as you mentioned, Albert Pujols is going to be out of the lineup 5, 6, 7 weeks, whatever. Hopefully he'll get back as soon as he can, because, I mean, he's what this game is about. You know, an impact player that is as good off the field as he is on. But somebody's got to take his place. This kid's done a nice job.
Very nice job. 6-game hit streak for him that he extended with the 3-run homer and then a single to follow that. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Jay. Here's the 1-2.
Zoom ball.
Takes you back to the movie, doesn't it?
Yep. Well,
hit the mascot.
Well, that was good to know. Charlie Sheen gave us too much information in the last day or two. Not to mention what he did a couple of months ago. That was way too much.
2-2 to base hit. There's a nice swing.
Well, what does it remind you of? Reminds me of Nick Markakis.
Yeah. 3-hit ball game for him.
Well, Gonzalez comes in. You know, he throws one at your board. That's your head. And then the next one away, and he just hits a nice little line drive and doesn't try to do too much. Gets on top of it.
His 4th 3-hit ball game. Jay's on, Holiday's up. He has double walked and grounded out twice. Matt Holliday with the 40 RBIs driven in. Closing in on the All-Star break, so there'll be lots of redone prognostications on all of the awards and MVPs and who's going to lead each league in batting average. And doesn't look like we'll get a Triple Crown guy this year in either league. Gonzalez for a while with Boston, but he's fallen behind on home runs. He still leads in batting average and RBIs, though. Here's the 0-1 delivery and an inside out to right. Nick Markakis. Holiday's retired. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one left. Oh, 6 outs to work with. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals up. Great place to have a group outing is right here at Camden Yards. Family, friends, co-workers, whatever it may be. It's a great time, day or night. Come and enjoy as a group. There are discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15 up to 1,000. Camden Yards for a group outing. 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com/groups. Great night to be here for the 28,000 plus. They get to roaring as the Orioles did a little roaring themselves with 3 runs in the 4th inning and a couple more in the 6th, but Cardinals still have the 9-5 lead in the ball game. Bottom of the 8th, Lee, Wieters, Reynolds.
Yeah, you got to pretend it's 4-0 and they need 6 outs, and you use that as an opportunity to get some more runs on the board.
The 0-1 delivery to Derek Lee is up high. Mitchell Boggs staying in. He got the last 2 outs in the 7th inning. So Jason Mott went 2/3 of an inning, 2 strikeouts and a hit. Miller, a third of an inning, got the 1 out, and now Boggs. Jaime Garcia, the starter, 6-3, pitcher of record, 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings. A couple of home runs off him.
Yeah, it looked like he was frustrated, but again, if they win, he wins, and you just move on and pitch better. That's what you got to do.
1-2 delivery. That's a fish shot to center, and that's a base hit. Rasmus could not get to it.
Take that. I tell you what, he recognized that hanging slider, and we saw him in a 3-run home run on Sunday off of Homer Bailey, but watch him just adjust right here. Keep the barrel of the bat inside the ball. There you go. Fight it off. Dump it into center. I'd like to hit a home run, but we'll take singles when you're down by 4.
Any base runner will do here. Here's Matt Wieters, a walk, a single, scored both times. 1 for 2 officially in the ball game. Reached on the walk in the 6th inning with 1 away to set up the Reynolds 2 RBI home run. Boy, this has been an offensive ball game at 14 runs on 25 hits combined. Nobody out. 1 strike delivery to Wieters. That'll be away.
You know, a lot of times you can look and you look at the home plate umpire and you say, boy, this guy's a hitter's umpire. But Brian Gorman's been very consistent. Terrific job behind the plate, as did Manny Gonzalez last night. Larry Vanover, a little bit bigger strike zone the night before. But it's not about the umpires. It's not like you're squeezing guys. Hitters are just doing a good job.
1-1 fouled off into the screen. Right back with you tomorrow night from Atlanta. Hope you'll join us. Note the start time, 7 o'clock for O's Extra and 7:30 for the ball game. Jeremy Guthrie, Jared Jurgens. Always big crowds on hand the holiday weekend in Atlanta. Don Russell, bench coach on the right. Mike Showalter talking about how to go through the inning and a half remaining here.
Well, they got Jim Johnson tossing for the O's in their bullpen.
This is where management of the pen's going to get real tough for the Orioles. That down to first is a foul ball. And Molino right on the line.
Yep, Matt Wieters all over that 95-mile-per-hour heater. You want to force, if you're the Orioles, Tony La Russa to get some action up in that bullpen, and there's a ball that just hooks foul. And you see Tony Cruz. And the only reason he's that close is he's holding the runner on, even though you do have the 4-run lead. A little unusual.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Ball will miss inside. 2-2. Wieters battling away. He's had some really good at bats, deep at bats in this series against the Cardinals.
But I think he's ready. It just seems like he's getting more comfortable. I mean, right there, that's a nice little slider. He just laid off. He's going to get on a hot streak.
2-2.
And right there, another a good changeup. So again, 2 pitches that when you're not seeing the ball very well, you swing at. And when you are, you take them. Just like Lance Burkman has done in this series.
The Orioles need to do here is stay away from that double play ball that has really hurt them tonight. 3 ground ball double plays they've hit into. 3-2 delivery. Wieters, he's got a base hit the other way. So the Orioles get 2 on, down by 4, and nobody out here in the 8th. Mark Reynolds coming up. A 2-hit ball game, a 2 RBI game, his 15th homer in his last at bat.
And he just waffles it. So Hardy with 9 home runs in the month of June. Reynolds with 8. Yeah, Jim Presley saying we do one of the drills. There's a pretty good night for the bottom of your lineup. He said every day the key, and you talked about less strikeouts and a lot of extra base hits and home runs. Swing down at the ball. Stay the barrel of the bat above the ball.
So Reynolds up as the Orioles again going to make a run here against the bullpen of the Cardinals. 2 on and nobody out.
So what Jim says is his little soft tosses are about chest high. And the feeling is, and I remember Jim Rice, of course, he's in the Hall of Fame, great hitter, hitting instructor of the Red Sox. He said, boy, you got to stay on top of that ball. And there is Luke Scott. Of course, they will get a lefty up in the bullpen very quickly.
Here's the 1-0 delivery to Reynolds, and that one almost got the jersey.
Well, Boggs was not available last night because of the stiff back.
Bullpen action again. Raul Valdez.
Yeah, he was up and didn't get in the game last night.
Runners off first and second base for the Orioles. A 2-0 count. So Reynolds has got the count right where he'd like it. And a swing and a miss. Boggs kept it down low, and the count will go to 2-1 on Reynolds. Reynolds trying to conclude a big-time month of June with another big hit.
Again, 95 with pretty good movement.
Two ball, 1 strike count. Reynolds will take it, and that's a strike. 2-2.
Well, I take it all back. That borderline pitch. Well, a lot of pitches thrown tonight.
A lot of them. Reynolds has had a great interleague year. He's hitting over 325 now, and he's had 3 home runs in interleague play, including the one he's picked up in tonight's ball game. The Orioles have been using the long ball here in June repeatedly to get their runs, with 2+ home runs in 4 of the last 6 ball games. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Boggs delivers. Reynolds will tip it foul, and that may have caught a piece of Molina.
Boy, some nice at bats this inning. That's another good breaking ball that we have seen Mark Reynolds, who's prone to strike out, swing through. And that was the whole idea. Just cut your swing down a little bit. If you can make more contact, you'll get more hits.
81 strikeouts and 48 walks on the season for Mark Reynolds. And he hits that one off the end of the bat. Rasmus. Lee tagging at second will go. Wieters can't. And the Orioles get runners at first and third with 1 away. That'll bring up Nolan Reimold, another one of the home run hitters tonight. He got his 4th, a 3 RBI shot that came in the 4th inning. All of his home runs this season, the 4 have come against left-handers. He gets a shot here against the right-hander. Only 1 out. And Dino waiting on deck. So Reimold up. Luke Scott sent out probably to get La Russa's bullpen active, force him to get somebody else up.
Well, their closer is also a right-handed thrower. We saw him, Fernando Salas. So again, you have an option again if Reimold can get on. Tying run comes to the plate, and Dino, even though he's got 3 hits, I don't know, maybe you can save him for that. You're not going to usually pinch hit for anybody in the middle of your lineup.
Here's the 1-0 delivery to him. Slider's going to miss outside, and he's fallen behind again. 2-0 from Boggs.
And then if Reimold's able to get on, then Buck Showalter make a decision. You send up Luke Scott, you'll get a lefty. Now, of course, he did take about a 98-mile-per-hour left-handed fastball from Araldo's Chapman and hit it a mile on Sunday. Or do you want Dino coming to the plate with 3 hits tonight facing the right-hander?
Dave Duncan out to make sure on an important pitch that everybody knows what they want to throw as Andino waits on deck.
Well, to me, Mitchell Boggs is the first of the Cardinal pitchers that I've seen that windup gets a little bit frantic. It's not as smooth as the rest of them.
Boggs started at AAA, was pitching in Memphis, recalled on June 10.
Well, when your head's moving around and you're side to side, it is hard to throw quality strikes. He's got a good arm. No doubt about that.
First and third for the Orioles, 1 out. 2-0 count. Reimold takes it. It is a strike. 2-1.
I still remember the late Catfish Hunter used to lay that hat right on top of his head when he'd throw in between, and it would never fall off. If it did, he knew he was moving his head too much. And Dave Duncan caught him. He knows about that.
Here's the 2-1 delivery, and Reimold can't get one down and away, and it evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Check this one out at 97. Look about a live arm. Inside middle. That's where Nolan Reimold likes it.
2-2 delivery. And it'll go full. Good stop made by Molina. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Runners at first and third. The Orioles trailing 9-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning. They got the first 2 on, Lee and Wieters. Now Reimold trying to move at least one of them home.
And maybe getting a little help, Gary. He swung one-handed at a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and he came back with a breaking ball.
Here's the 3-2 delivery. Reimold shattered bat. Again cut off. Freeze, not going to get him. He is safe. An infield hit and an RBI. And a 9-6 game.
I'll tell you, you do not see somebody get jammed like Nolan Reimold gets jammed and get out of the box. This is the one thing we have seen from day one, even with a torn Achilles. Get down the line like this. I mean, he gets jammed, bat smashed, and beats it. And you need base runners, you need runs, and that's exactly what he delivers. Nobody runs harder to first base than this guy, man. And he can run.
Descalso picked it up, had a chance, but Reimold just beat it out. And now Andino up first and second with still only one away. Orioles now have 14 hits in the game. And the potential tying run is standing at the plate. Finally, in this battle from an 8-0 deficit. Andino is 3 for 3 with 3 singles. 1-0 delivery to third. D'Alessio goes for 1, and the 4th double play tonight hit into by the Orioles will end the inning. They'll get 1 run on 3 hits, leave a base runner on. It is 9-6. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, going off Boggs. Unhappy with his performance, but hey, gave up only a run.
Well, 3 hits and 2 of them soft. I think that's more about they maybe didn't make the pitches, and Andino smokes it, but they do get the double play ball for the 4th time tonight. Jim Johnson, who's been lights out, comes on. Not a whole lot of guys left out there other that didn't pitch last night. And saw Burkman and Ferguson, and so again Jim Johnson, who's been used a lot but really has been good.
So Johnson, top of the 9th inning, gets Burkman, and Burkman will take it inside for a ball. 2-homer ball game, 3 RBIs. Came in having had only 3 official at bats in the first 2 games, but in this one he's made up for it. 1-0 delivery to him, and that's going to be inside from Jim Johnson.
Now the problem at pitching at this point in the game, and that's why it's so important to find your landing spot, is that there's been so many pitchers. I mean, there are all kinds of potholes out there on the mound.
And a strike taken. Jim has been absolutely magnificent, of course, out of the bullpen for the Orioles, and you see the divots and marks and dug up areas on the mound. 2-1 delivery to Burkman. That'll be swung on and missed.
Well, Mark Connors said that at some point Jim Johnson either going to have to be a closer or a starter. And certainly not that he doesn't do this job well, but that's where you make the bucks.
Lowering his ERA from 5.14 to 2.33 since May 4. Foul bag. He and Koji O'Hara have been the 2. Join Orioles Reach and the Orioles Wives, WJZ-TV, the Maryland Food Bank, and the Oriole Advocates for the Orioles Reach Annual Food Drive, July 15 through 17. Bring along non-perishable items to the ballpark. It benefits the Maryland Food Bank. Volunteers at each gate will collect. And the pitch is inside. Again, that's going to be July 15, 16, and 17 here at the ballpark. that's what Andy McPhail, when we talked with him a week ago, was talking about level A of the bullpen and level B, and how level B has got to be brought up. Towering fly ball to center. Jones is there.
Well, the highlight of last night is Brad Bergeson coming in 3 innings, retires 9 in a row. So you get the opportunity. If you want to start again, you got to show them you can get guys out. But you're certainly right about that. Koji's been Koji. Throws a lot of strikes. Maybe some solo home runs this year. But a walk-off up in Seattle. But he's pitched terrific.
Descalso's first at bat. Bounding ball. Hardy over to get it and can't. So Descalso, who came on as a defensive replacement, picks up his first hit of the series. Take a look at our voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. You can still cast your vote, A, B, or C. 51862. Results on the O's Extra post-game show. Descalso on in the 9th inning with 1 down. Rasmus and then Molina due up. Rasmus tonight 2 strikeouts, a pop out, and a walk. Each team now with 14 hits. That's gone back and forth tonight. To second, Andino diving has got it. Hardy's got 1. Nice double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Another $1,000. Stacy Ogren from Baltimore. Second double play the Orioles have turned. That's your second $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery Double Play Contest.
For coming right back with those extra post game. And what a ball game here. Orioles down 8-0. It's 9-6 going to the bottom of the 9th, and they still have life because they have a lot of spunk.
I got a feeling they're not going without a fight on this last inning. They've hit into 4 double plays, which are big rally killers for the Orioles. But still, I think they got a lot of fight left in them for the rest of this
Maybe
game.
It's that kind of night. The Cardinals will bring their closer on. Let's see how it turns out. Back to the booth, and Gary and Jim.
Jim, Rick, thanks very much. There you see the 9-6 score, and it is Salas who will come on to go for the save.
Yeah, Tuesday night came in inning in 2/3, so there are his numbers. Did get beat, did not pitch around Jose Bautista. We talked about the weekend sweep in St. Louis when the Blue Jays came in, and he had a home run. So there are the numbers. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. Real good overhand spike curveball. Throws 88 to 92. Throws a lot of strikes. And what they like about him, and not afraid to throw the ball over the plate. So he comes in. They have presented him with a 3-run lead, and this is a save situation.
The Orioles get the top of the order, as it will be Hardy, Markakis, and Jones due up. There are the fans on Hardy T-shirt night cheering him on. He's had a single, 1 for 4 in the ball game. Cardinals have had 5 different pitchers pick up a save this season. Salas is the leader with 12. Boggs, who just left the ball game, has 3 of them. Ryan, who's been released from the team, has 1 of them. Miller, who we saw earlier in the ball game, has 1. And 5 have been picked up by Sanchez, who's on the DL. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Hardy.
Yeah, Sanchez a lot of times a closer, also 8th inning guy, but Ryan Franklin, who was their closer last year, struggled. Salas got the job. Sanchez with a bad shoulder. There's that good breaking ball, but it misses. Well, pretty simple. You need to get guys on before they get 3 outs and get to 9 or more.
Two ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and that's going to be popped up behind second base. Rasmus called off. Schumacher will put it away. Every Orioles walk this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield donates $50 to the Living Classroom Foundation. 235 walks, $11,750. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
Skip Schumacher, a former outfielder that converted a couple of years to second base. Every fly ball, he says, mine, mine. He was way out there.
Rasmus, fortunately for him, stayed away. Here's Marquez. Nick takes it for a strike. He is singled. His hit streak now at 19 games. But the Orioles down 9-6. 28 hits combined, 14 apiece for these two teams in an offensive show. Through it all, the starters remain the pitcher of record. Jaime Garcia, 5 runs on 10 hits over 5 1/3, looking to go 7-3. And for Brian Mattis, he would be 1-4 as he gave up the 8 runs on 9 hits in 3 1/3 innings. 1-1 delivery. Just misses. 2-1.
And the trend for Jaime Garcia is they get him a lot of runs. Came in at 5.58. That went up tonight. Even though I know he'll be disappointed that he couldn't hang around longer.
8-0. Great comeback to get back in it by the Orioles, but not enough yet. Marquez will take a strike on a fastball. 2-2.
Boy, that's and he made a great pitch on J.J. Hardy. He's got a little bit of extra, and he's able to stay down in the zone.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Marquez, base hit. Nick gets his second hit of the night. Keeps it alive for the Orioles with a potential tying run moved up to the on-deck circle.
A little changeup or splitter, and one thing about Nick, he, contrary to early in the year, he's just letting the ball travel. Watch him go cover this outside corner. He just lets the ball travel farther. He's not anxious. Hits are rolling in.
Orioles have had as many as 20 hits in a ball game this year. Came against Seattle. They've got 15 in this game. Here's Adam Jones. Jones looking for his first hit of the night. 0 for 4 and 1 for 11 in the series. Pitch is going to be in for a strike. 4 big ground ball double plays in this game that the Orioles have hit into have been very costly. The Orioles have been able to get some people on base. They've left a half a dozen, as have the Cardinals. Dallas with the 0-1 delivery and a 1-ball 1-strike count. All of the run production from the bottom part of the order in the ball game tonight. Reynolds 2 on the home run, Reimold 3 on a home run, 1 on a single. A lot of help. 1 ball, 1 strike count. 1-2. One ball, 2-strike count. Runner off first base. That one's going to go to second. Schumacher, Terrio, and not in time. It stays alive on the fielder's choice. A much disturbed Schumacher looking over at the first base umpire, Dan Bellino.
Yeah, again, the ball away, so you get out of the box pretty well. And there we go. Very, very close. Little curveball, a good one. And here's your 4. Schumacher over to Terrio. And the throw. Guy goes to the runner. Or supposedly. At least it did then.
Vladimir Guerrero a single, 1 for 4. There are 2 down now in the bottom of the 9th inning. Jones on at first base. Cardinals looking for a sweep in their first visit to Baltimore for a regular season game. And the Orioles trying to avoid the 5th sweep of the year. The Cardinals, a win ties them for first. For Buck Showalter's club, it would be a 3-game losing streak to take on the road. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Guerrero on the big cut. 1-2. One-two delivery. Fouled off outside of first.
Yeah, Tony La Russa probably figuring with 9 runs it shouldn't have been this difficult.
Carpenter really saved him in this game by getting the complete game win last night, keeping that bullpen off the mound because they needed it tonight. 5 relievers, 5 pitchers used in the game. Guerrero to short, played by Terrio to Schumacher, and that's it. The Cardinals have swept the 3-game series as they come away with a 9-6 win to wrap it up. And the Orioles a 3-game losing streak and 11-14 in the month of June. Tomorrow, the Orioles will be in Atlanta to take on the Braves. Jeremy Guthrie on the mound against Jar Jurgens. Our coverage at 7 o'clock, Masson HD with O's Extra, presented by Verizon 4G LTE. Our game at 7:30. For Jim Palmer and all of our great crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody, for being with us. The Cardinals 9, the Orioles 6. This has been a Masson presentation. How that early lead held up. The story coming up. Jim and Rick. O's Extra is next. Adieu.